so hot as well. Oh my God.
Welcome everybody to an all new episode of GVN Talk. I thought I'd time that better. Welcome to an all new episode of GVN Talk. I am your host, Juwaan. Welcome to a brand new episode. This is going to be a very fun episode because we have a crap load of topics to get through today. So let me introduce the panel, starting off with Trevon. What's going on, Trevon?
Hey everybody, happy to be here. Yeah, let's just get started. Yeah, I'm happy.
It felt like you were going somewhere. Okay.
I was gonna say something, but I stopped myself.
Okay.
Let's just get into it.
Okay. All right. Welcoming back to GVN Talk, Jaime. What's going on, Jaime?
Hey, thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be here, and especially excited to hear some of these takes that we're going to be talking about later on in the episode. I know for me, I've been focusing on like all things gaming because E3 is happening pretty soon. I don't know when this is coming out, so I'll just say soon. And yeah, I'm excited to hear what's going on, what's popping.
Absolutely. And look, once we get some more gaming news, I definitely want to shoot some kind of podcast to break down some of the bigger gaming news.
Absolutely.
Got to make sure AJ and Trevon aren't on that. But anyway, also Shekinah, what's going on, Shekinah?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I am great. I'm actually really excited to do this episode. I actually meant to send you the clip for Figure It Out. And I actually took one of those 5 naps AJ took today, and I forgot. So I'll make sure to get that out. Yeah, naps are very dangerous. They are, they could suck your whole day.
Yeah,
just
truly.
I don't know what just
They
happened.
really can.
Goodness gracious. You know what? You know it's funny? When you're a kid, you're constantly fighting the idea of taking naps, only to grow up to wish that you could spend the full day.
Yes.
It's like sometimes I wish like my older self could like visit my younger self in the past and just go, take those naps.
Enjoy it while you have it.
Just even if you don't need it, just take it. For me, for older me that can't just take these, take it for me. But also AJ, what's going on, AJ?
I am awesome. How are you guys doing today? You guys doing good?
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know I skipped 2 movies today to be with you guys. I skipped 2 movies.
All right, that's kind of like
Demon Slayer and Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh wow.
Hitman's wife's bodyguard.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I will say AJ said that like a parent who's like, I love you, but like I was gonna be a model before, like, you know, I got pregnant with you, so you know, thanks.
Exactly.
You know the sacrifices I made to get you here.
It was a struggle. It was a struggle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Listen, if we weren't in a pandemic, that'd probably be the same for me because I'd rather, I'd be probably the movie.
All right. Well, you know,
Just saying. I told you.
Our hosts enjoy being.
Hey, do you go to restaurants?
No, actually, no.
You took a long time to think about that.
No, because I want to go to one, but I
Yeah, you rather go to a restaurant than a movie theater? You know it's safer to be in the movie theater than a restaurant, right?
Don't say
I went to okay. I did go see A Quiet Place 2, but it scared me when people start walking near me. So I don't know if I'm going back.
Hey, stay safe. Stay safe.
I don't know.
I love how AJ said that like he was a like a doctor or something. Scientifically, it's better to go to a movie theater than a restaurant. Sounded a little biased, but anyway, let's jump into this. Let's start off with what everyone has been watching. Jaime, I'll start with you. I know video gaming has been literally consuming everything going on over there with you, but have you been watching anything else besides these gaming things?
Not really anything like recent. I'm like a big anime fan, so I've been watching a lot of Odd Taxi, which is a shame that more people aren't watching that because that's a really good show. It's kind of has like some mystery elements, and I don't know, it's very the art direction is awesome too. Yeah, I would encourage people to check that out if you're into anime and looking for something new to watch. Other than that, honestly, for some reason I just felt like going back to watch Adventure Time because I've never seen all of Adventure Time. So I've been watching that. I recently watched Endgame and Cars 3. This weird combo, but I don't know. I just been in weird moods lately. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen Cars 3. Let me go ahead and watch it. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Hey.
Well, Cars 3 could be a future reuniting of Zemo and Mobius, played by Owen Wilson and God, I can't believe I just forgot Daniel Bro, who were Lightning McQueen, and I think Daniel Bro was the villain of one of those Cars movies.
Really?
So that's very interesting that we finally got Lightning McQueen in the MCU finally. So
I know it was funny because I watched that, and then right after that, I was watching Loki, and I'm like, oh my god, like I completely forgot Lightning McQueen.
Look at that. No, but it's really good to see both the Wilson brothers doing comic book things. Luke Wilson's amazing in Stargirl. For anyone who has not seen Stargirl, watch it immediately. Yeah. And Owen Wilson's AJ. No one asked you, and Owen Wilson's killing it as Mobius.
Did you actually watch it, or are you just saying that?
No, I watched it. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like AJ saw that it started airing on CW and then just judged.
No, I gave it a chance. I actually gave it a chance.
No, I never bothered. I never watched it.
Stargirl is amazing, like really good, really, really, really good.
I have a take on that show. I like it, but I like it. I just
you like it, but you don't like it.
Her powers. What's she gonna do with the staff? I'm just saying the staff can take it from her. I get it, no. But like, if it gets taken from her, she's kind of.
If Green Lantern's ring broke, same thing. Essentially, they're powered by the objects that they have.
His power a little better.
DC literally has one of the most powerful characters, but if you take his helmet off, he's virtually useless. So, I mean, DC's chock full of people that need kind of these things to propel their power.
Yeah.
You know, that's DC. Marvel's kind of more away from that. You either are really strong, really smart, or you have some kind of tech. It's very simple over there in Marvel. Or like Thor, you're just a Norse god. So, but yeah, so, you know, I will say this to the point you made, Jaime. I always thought that it was, but I'm starting to realize this. Anime is not as mainstream as we think.
No.
It really is. Because,
wait, who thinks it's mainstream?
Well, people would assume it's mainstream because the biggest anime are mainstream right now. But people forget that's not really the be all end all to anime. Is just My Hero and One Piece,
Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon Ball Z. Right.
Yeah.
It's why I don't go around saying like I'm a huge anime fan, because like the first time someone goes, "Oh, have you seen Left Foot Blue Foot?" and I'm like, I don't know.
That's actually really good. You should watch it.
Like, I don't know what that is, and they're like, "Oh man, you're missing out." And I'm like, okay.
Every day.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the issues right now with within like different anime communities is like the gatekeeping, but I feel like it's not just anime specific, but it's hurting anime more than other like categories of entertainment, just because it was it wasn't so much a popular thing, but now it's kind of like it's okay if you say you like anime, but
people are more protective over anime than other fandoms like Star Wars or Marvel or DC, because anime, they get a lot of flack. But
well, I think they get a lot of flack because people only really know the general five. So outside of that, it's just like, what else is there? And it's like, you have no idea.
I think it's funny that I think it's funny that it's least mainstream, even though the directors and even just Western animators draw inspiration from a whole bunch of anime.
A 100%. But it's still just not mainstream. And I think it works best when it's not. Because you just don't need any of those animators conforming the Japanese stories to make them American and then conforming for it to fit into mainstream. Just continue for it to be the little niche that it is.
I don't think I think it needs to start to be mainstream, because the people over there that work on the animation and the storyboards and stuff like that don't get paid enough. You get animators from like Disney or Pixar or whatever, they get a lot of money, but whereas you get like Studio Ghibli or Mappa or any other studio, they don't really get paid as much. And
that's true, but they do get paid in longevity. Like
also their healthcare is trash.
I would believe that, but I would tell you, whoever drew Goku is definitely living a lot better than whoever the fuck drew Lightning McQueen.
Sure.
So it's like if you strike gold over there in anime, you just strike gold. As opposed to some of the stuff that's American born, it could last for maybe 10 years. But like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, 20 years from now, I don't know how many people will remember Frozen. It's great now. I don't think Frozen has the legs to be what Lion King was, what Peter Pan was, Mulan, Little Mermaid, stuff like that. I think at some point people will say let it go and then won't randomly break into song because they won't remember what the hell it was. But anyway, that's some good stuff that you've been watching. I do like that you went back to watch Endgame. I respect anybody who does. I personally can't sit through all of Endgame. I have to fast forward to when they go back into time.
Well, I mean, I didn't get all the way through it because it was like 3 a.m. and I'm like, let me just turn on something. I'll just fall asleep. So I think I got pretty far actually. I think I got to, what was the last thing? I think they had just gotten all the stones back together and then Thanos shows up. So I think that's when I passed out. But
what? You sat through that whole thing and fell asleep at the best part?
It was late. It was late. No, like, I was surprised I even remember that I got there.
This is why you fat. I remember sitting in the theater and going, this is a lot for what? Like, it just drowned you in story. And it's like,
really? That's greatness.
So you don't like that, but you like that the red boring game?
It felt like an hour. It did not feel like 3 to me. It was like
an hour?
It felt like an hour.
Oh wow! Okay,
I will say, I had like the same perspective as you, Juwaan. The first time I watched it, like I'm like, this is taking a long time to get to like.
I was too hyped.
When I was rewatching it, a few days ago, I'm like, you know what? This is like much better than I remember it being. And it didn't feel like it was like dragging along like I thought it was the first time.
See, I don't think it was dragging. I just think like, all right, here's my problem. Infinity War is part 1, obviously Endgame's part 2, right? Mm-hmm. Usually in a 2-parter, the first part is bogged in story. And then the second part is where you get all your action. So the fact that Infinity War was action from the jump all the way to the end, and then the sequel was all story.
No, but we knew why though. They were closing the door on some people's stories. They had to give us all the extra.
It was important. I'm with you, Shekinah. It was important.
Exactly. It was important.
That's what this came in handy. Put that in.
It felt like 3 hours to me, but it felt like the greatest 3 hours for me.
See, so now you're lying because you said it didn't feel like 3 hours.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Oh, you just said that.
No.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't say that.
I remember like Infinity War should have been longer. Like goodness gracious! Oh, them playing paper football, and I'm just like
greatness. Why didn't you like that?
Humanizing.
Like, you're impatient. Juwaan is impatient.
I know.
I'm like that. Here and I'm just like, oh, where's
you're impatient.
Stuff? And I'm like, playing paper football? Get me out of here. But Shekinah, I'll go to you next. What have you been watching?
I'm still going slow and steady my Vampire Diaries. That's what I've been watching. I'm excited to get to the end and then watch all the prequel stuff. So yeah, Vampire Diaries is all I've been watching.
So what about Clone Wars?
I wasn't.
Oh yeah, I have been watching Bad Batch too. I forgot.
Do you see how I didn't say anything, Shekinah? I was letting it go.
I knew someone would say it. Just. But July is actually creeping up, so I shouldn't have made that promise. I should have let you guys say 2023 or whatever year it was you said.
Oh, you promised to finish Clone Wars?
2023.
2023.
That's amazing.
2023. Just at this rate, it's 2023. Sorry,
guys. That you won't watch Clone Wars like anytime before we're all, I don't know, 50.
Wow, that's a bit of a stretch.
Out here,
you went too far.
Now, see, you say that, but wait till as the years go and more shows come out, more new shows come out, and you go, I'll get to it.
That's pretty much as it for me.
Have you started watching The Bad Batch, Shekinah?
I haven't, because they said that they were like, yeah, you don't watch Bad Batch, watch all the animated before. Yeah. So I'm going back to Clone Wars, I totally didn't do that. Into it.
I was watching the Clone Wars a little bit as it came out on Cartoon Network, and I don't know. Some episodes I'm like, oh yeah, like I was really into it, and then some episodes I'm like, So I just skipped it.
Did you see this week's episode of Bad Batch?
I didn't see the one that came out last night, no, but I've been keeping up to date with Bad Batch, and I actually enjoy it, so I would recommend that over the Clone Wars as of now.
Okay, I will tell you this now. As that show continues, you will enjoy it for what it is, but you won't truly cherish it because you have no idea what came.
I'm okay. You know, sometimes you just watch things just to enjoy it, and you don't. It doesn't have to be deep. You know, it doesn't have to be deep.
But Okay, sorry. I'm just thinking of how this latest episode gave me all the feels, and I'm like, you'd only feel that if you knew what happened in the last season of Clone Wars. But not knowing that, it's like you could only enjoy it, but so much. Because you're just like, yeah, sure. I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, okay. But no, but you know what? I will say, it's like I tell people, you can watch Avengers movies not having seen any of the other Marvel movies and just enjoy it for the spectacle. But there's just certain things that are said and done that, like, when you look over and people are just like, oh my God, you're just like, I don't, what?
Incorrect.
You need context.
That's what I'm saying. You need the context of it. Like, no one cares about it, but when T'Challa is getting the gauntlet from Clint,
yes,
and he goes, I got it, Clint. Like, that's to someone who's never seen Civil War, it's like, who cares? But if you've seen Civil War, it's funny because Clint introduces himself and T'Challa's just like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. Him acknowledging him is fun. You know, Wasp calling Captain America Cap after getting on Ant-Man for calling him Cap, like, oh,
you're gonna make me cry.
Basis?
Yeah. That's gonna make me cry.
It's just a lot of little things that you truly enjoy if you know where it comes from. So, but again,
cheeseburgers.
You can enjoy it.
Cheeseburgers. Oh no.
Yeah, the
cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers hit hard, man. Every time.
You know, that's so crazy because, like, in the theater, when she said that, everyone around me was just tearing, and I was just like,
oh. What? I was crying from the first second. The minute the credits rolled, I was crying from start to finish. Start to finish. I didn't stop crying. It was a long crying fest from beginning to end. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I cried in Endgame as much as I cried at the end of Infinity War. That hurt deep. Hurt deep.
For Infinity War, it didn't bother me because I was like, oh, they'll come back. That's how I felt. I don't know.
It wasn't because they died. It was the lines delivered as they were dying. The fact that Groot called Rocket Dad before he passed, before he disappeared. Tom Holland totally improvising the Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good line. And then I love how T'Challa's just like, get up. This is no place to die. And then
I low-key laughed at that a little bit.
He immediately disappeared.
I like, she just fell on her butt. Like,
for me, at the end of Infinity War, I was more mad. I was like, I need another one now. Like, how long I gotta wait until the next one? But
I feel like I probably would have been in my feels more if I hadn't heard people like shouting on the theater, like, no! Oh my God! Like, they were taking it way too far. I'm like, y'all, it's not that serious. But by the end of it, though, I was literally on the edge of my seat, and I'm like, the movie just ended. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Yeah. Only in Star Wars has that happened, really, where the bad guy wins, where the bad guy literally just wins, and that's it. Like, there is no other shoe to drop till you get to the next movie. I mean, Endgame always is sour for me because I never accept the fact that we all just left that movie like, yep, 2 people died, but there's only a funeral for one of them. Yep, I'm totally okay with this.
3 people died. No, wait. No, two. Sorry.
Say, who's
Ignore me.
Loud and wrong over there.
Oh no!
But talking about he's confidence in that.
Hide my face. I'm sorry.
I mean, Captain America left. I mean,
that counts as a death to me.
I think he's dead too.
That's a death to me. That is a death. It's a death. You can't tell me it's not a death.
Not dead.
You can't tell me that's not a death.
He's
not.
Did they say he died? Wait. Did they say he died?
No, that's not the point.
Did they show him dying?
Forget what you guys are saying. To me, that was a death because he.
Hold on. I want you to answer the question.
Hold on. In Shekinah's world, as soon as you hit 80, you're dead.
Like, no, it wasn't the age. It wasn't the age. It was the betrayal. He's dead to me. After the betrayal, going back in time, you're dead to me. You are dead.
I didn't know it was like that.
Betrayal. Hold on.
I get
That's
that.
not past that.
Exactly.
I will never, ever be okay with the fact that Clint and Fury were at Tony's funeral and was just like, "Yep, one person." It's just like, what about Nat? Like, Nat did die for you guys. You don't get the stones without Nat. And they were just like, who cares? She gets her own movie. That's her.
I don't know about it. I don't know.
Hey,
they cared. I mean,
where was the funeral at?
I mean,
they couldn't have shared it. They couldn't put a spider on top of Stark's reactor. Huh? They couldn't have done that. Huh?
Spider would have drowned.
She got a movie. I don't know.
The movie is in the past. It's not in the current day. It's in the past.
I'm sure they fixed it in this movie. I'm sure they did. They had to fix it. They added something.
So you think the movie ends where it's just like
they had to fix this? I know they had to fix it.
Well, I tell you what. Unless all the Avengers come together to show her respect, there's no way you can fix that. They literally brought out everybody, and then it was just like, well, start. That's it. But Vampire Diaries. I did promise you, Shekinah, at some point I would start that. And I will start Vampire Diaries. You know, hopefully that jumpstarts you to start, other stuff.
Not as good as True Blood, but it is good.
I don't know if I like vampire things, like I'm enjoying Vampire Diaries now, but I'm not sure because I was never really on that Twilight train. I was not interested. Why was everyone falling over this pasty man? I just wasn't interested in that whole thing.
T and Jacob.
We're not doing that.
I'm so I do not want to disrespect you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, but I was never on that train. Everyone else was actually what I was watching, but I was not interested in that.
We do have to stop crediting the hype of vampires to Twilight. I feel like everyone that's in our generation always goes, yeah, I never really got into vampires, like Twilight. It's like that is not
Buffy
of vampires.
Buffy
that is very
to
much,
you.
That is very much the soap operas of vampires. Real vampire movies. Yeah, that I get it if you're like, nah, I couldn't get into that, but we're not gonna skip over how Blade
vampires turn into diamonds in the sunlight. Okay.
Right. I mean, wait, AJ, time out. Here's the crazy thing. Blade raised all of us, but we somehow credit Twilight for vampires. And it's like,
but it was it's a bit different though. It's a bit different though.
Oh, you're right. Blade was good. Right. Blade was good.
Exactly.
I got you.
Twilight was great. I don't know what y'all talking about.
We're not good. We're done.
I'll tell you this.
Sorry, Trevon.
Wesley Snipes.
That's fine.
He didn't have to
go. I loved it.
He didn't have to go shirtless to sell his movie. So, just putting that out there. Anyway, AJ, what have you been watching lately?
Nothing really. The only thing I actually watched was the Justice Society World War II movie.
By the way, let me say this because me and Joel had a laugh at your expense, AJ. Here's what the laugh was. We saw your post about the Flash and how there was no Justice League in his world. Only for me and Joel to go, bro, Superman was fighting someone that led Flash to going into the past. What is AJ talking about? There's a Superman legit right there. And AJ's just like, I didn't like that there was no Justice League in his world. What is Superman in you, AJ?
There is no Justice League in that world. That was just Superman. Do you think Superman is Justice League?
No, but
one person is Justice League.
Time out. Here's the thing, though. I think Long Halloween is also the Batman that will be in that world. I think there's plenty of members that exist in that world. We've only seen Superman, though. So we don't know that the others don't exist. Heck, until we saw the movie, we didn't even know that Man of Tomorrow connected to the Flash. We didn't know that they were kickstarting a new continuity. So I think the dominoes will start to fall as we go.
But this is the only movie that I saw. That's why I said that.
You didn't see Man of Tomorrow?
No, I didn't see that yet.
Okay. But did you like the movie overall?
I actually did like the movie overall. Yes.
It was good. It was really, really, really good. A nice take. It was a really cool what if. It was like, because we got that technically with the Red Sun. The Red Sun movie where it's Superman was raised over in
the Soviet Union.
Right. So this was essentially the version of what would happen if most of your big heroes were
also was it set in another world in the past, or was it just set in I was confused with that.
I think when he went back in time, he burst through a whole nother reality. So it was like an alternate reality of what that world was. So essentially, because you can't.
So it was still during the same timeline, or is this?
No, it was a different timeline because you saw Superman, so that clearly wasn't the same Superman. So yeah, it was a different timeline. Again, it's why I tell you guys what I don't like time travel, and I don't like multiverses because they're always confusing. It causes questions like that. It wasn't straightforward enough for you to go, oh yeah, it was clearly blah blah blah. That's why I don't like it. Well, but I would suggest. Wait, say it again.
I said Loki's doing the time travel type stuff better than what Justice Society is doing. But.
Make sure you guys check out Justice Society. It was a really good movie. I'm still growing on the animation. I'm not a fan of that animation.
I've learned it really isn't for me. It really isn't the animation that I don't really like. It's the art style that I don't really care for.
Okay, then yeah, I'll say that the art style for it. It's the same reason why I could never really get into MODOK. I was never a fan of Robot Chicken.
Yeah, neither was I.
So just watching Robot Chicken but with MODOK was just like, no, I'm sorry.
I try to give it a chance, but I was like, no.
I will say this: the premise of the MODOK show is really good. The story isn't my issue. It's just really hard to get past the visual of how annoying it looks. But I do suggest people to go out and try MODOK because I'm sure a lot of people are Robot Chicken fans. And
there's a lot of people that like MODOK.
I mean, they should. Like I said, it's not a bad show. I just can't get over the art style. And Seth Green, who created Robot Chicken, had a hand in creating MODOK. So all you Robot Chicken fans, go ahead and check out MODOK. But I am glad you saw that, AJ. I can't wait for Long Halloween. I've been trying my best to get it early.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch that.
I'm trying to get it early, and it's not working, and I'm not liking it. So I'm gonna have to cause a hissy fit to try to get that early.
Oh, now you're like the rest of us.
Yeah,
gotta wait for it to come out.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. I can't afford to come back to being like the rest of the world. I need it early. I need everything early. You know,
can't be like us common folk. I see.
No. Can't be out here. What is the term? Can't be out here slumming it. I got to be up there with the royalty watching it early. You guys have clearly seen it's going to my head for sure. But Trevon, what have you been watching lately?
Quite a bit of stuff actually. I had to write down my little list just there. So, of course, I said Quiet Place 2. I was actually really pleasantly surprised about that movie because I didn't know what they were going to do with it. And I think they did a good job of figuring out how to keep it going. Some moments in it that pissed me off. You know, they always do dumb stuff in these movies that drag the story along more than it needs to be. But it's fine. You know, still was great. Still heavy jumping. Still like, whew, this could happen if an asteroid hit us. So, so anyway, so now Sailor Moon Eternal.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I need to watch that.
Oh, loved it. I love Sailor Moon anyway. So this, I was so happy. I was so glad it was out. I love transformations. I love it. I just love that. I'm wondering when they're going to try to do that live action here. I wonder when they're going to try it.
Of Sailor Moon?
They're going to try it.
I'm
gonna try it. They try everything.
They probably will. They probably will. They've tried everything else and so far failed, in my opinion, but I'm scared.
Look, okay, so
I'm not watching any of that. Nope.
Yeah.
So the Wink. I don't know if you guys like the Wink saga at all. Do you like?
I didn't bother because I liked the original Winx. I never watched the live action one.
So I gave it a chance. I watched it all the way through, and I was wondering what they were going to do with the transformation. But that's what everybody was mad about. They were like, "Where's the transformation? Like, what's going on with this?" They figured out a way to do it at the end, kinda. I was like, okay, fine. We're gonna let it. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do these things more gritty, grounded, and all that stuff. So I'm excited for season 2 of that show. I don't know.
Okay.
So, I give stuff.
Wait, they're trying to. Oh, never mind.
If they want to do a anime kind of an anime to live action, do Code Lyoko. Not enough people know about Code Lyoko, so if you screw it up, you won't really have that many people upset. Not many people know about it.
And that's
that
why
would be trippy.
Well, that's why they won't do that. They want to do something that is popular. They're gonna do something that has
to me, that doesn't make sense. To me, what makes the most sense is taking something people don't know and creating something from it. It's from the same lore. It's why The Mandalorian works. Have you noticed no one's been able to be upset about The Mandalorian? It takes place in a timeline that just that hasn't really been explored in Star Wars, really.
But it is Star Wars. I'm saying it is.
But I'm saying it's anime, and as we see, anime just works. All anime works. People are interested in anime. It's why the Bleach movie came out. And again, Bleach isn't as popular as people try to make it out to be. Bleach is not on Naruto's level. It's not even on what Hero's doing right now. Bleach to me is very much a show that unless you are a true anime fan, it does fly under the radar. No one really talks about Bleach. I have not really heard anyone mention Ichigo's name really ever, because he's not up there with a Luffy. He's not up there with Naruto. He's not up there with Goku. So to me, take a risk, man. I mean, heck, they did what's the one where the dude writes in the book and then people die?
Death Note.
Yeah, Death Note's not that popular, and they made a live action about Death Note.
I don't know about that.
I didn't think it was good.
That's the one I kind of
heard Note is pretty well. I feel like for people, so if they're like surface level anime and they're like, okay, let me go a little bit deeper, I think you immediately hit Death Note. And like everybody likes Death Note for the most part.
On the surface, like I said, there's 5 anime that people who just casually know about anime know off the top. It's your Naruto, it's your Dragon Ball Z. I would probably say One Piece would have to be in there.
That's the most popular one.
One Piece?
One Piece, yes. Yes, it is. One Piece is the highest grossing anime and manga of all time.
No.
He has been reading that for how many years anyway? Dude, that's not the story.
One Piece has literally been around since I feel like 1934. So that's why. It has so much
since 1997.
Well, Dragon Ball Z's been around since 93. But yeah, so I mean, One Piece is in there. So like I said, that definitely is more once you get deeper into anime, you're like, oh,
I feel like they should try to start doing more manga adaptations than anime adaptations, because they did Edge of Tomorrow, which was really good, which is Lived Out Repeat.
Well, to me, no, just take, like I said, just take lesser known or lesser mainstream, like do a Yu Yu Hakusho. That'd be dope.
My issue is I don't want them to do something that's supernatural with like anime into live action, because it never works. They need to stick with the ground level type stuff. So like you have Samurai Champloo, that needs to be live action, because I feel like that will work perfectly.
That'd be cool.
What is Afro Samurai would do perfectly as live action as well. And then you have Vinland Saga, which would do perfect because
by the way, if you do Afro Samurai and they don't cast Lakeith Stanfield, don't do it. Don't do the movie. And have Samuel Jackson narrate it. That would be literally epic levels. Untouchable of epic levels. Have Lakeith.
I don't think Jemmy agrees. She said,
See, okay, so Lakeith Stanfield was in Yasuke, and I did not really like Yasuke because of all the fantasy elements and stuff that they had in it. They didn't really develop like anybody's character, in my opinion.
But what are you putting that at the feet of Lakeith?
No, here's the other thing. So one was the fantasy part. The other thing was I feel like Lakeith's performance was okay, but like there could have been more. I'm not saying he wouldn't do well in live action, but just to put him as your number one, I'd be like, interesting.
I switched it to Japanese over English. That's what I did.
I need to try that.
Here's the thing for me: when you're doing an anime project, anime turned live action, I don't want big names. Lakeith right now is a bubbling name. He's a name that very easily could rise to be that top tier. But he just really hasn't had that project yet that has kind of like really launched him. So he's the right kind of popular for me. That would be perfect at it. I don't like, because when you go big name, I feel like you take shortcuts elsewhere because you're paying this big name an absorbent amount of money to be in it.
I can see that.
So to me, I kind of like lesser. Go lesser name. I mean, AJ, I want the big O. I want the big O. Make that into live action. It's essentially Batman meets Gundam. I want it. I want it bad. The main character is literally just Bruce Wayne. And instead of dressing up as Batman, he literally just suits up in this huge robot. And I'm like, yeah, you could
just don't let Michael Bay get a handle of that.
Listen, to me, like how Cap is dead to Shekinah, Michael Bay doesn't exist in my world. I don't know who that is. I don't even know who you're referring to. Who is that? Who's that guy?
That guy in the Transformers that
you didn't like Pain and Gain?
Pain and Gain. Yeah, I was gaining a lot of pain watching that. Yeah.
Oh no.
Immediately rushed myself.
That was the only movie I liked I actually enjoyed that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that movie.
That's the only movie I like from Michael Bay.
I'm sitting through this movie and I'm just like, it reminded me of why I was confused. I put myself through Twilight. It essentially was just like,
it wasn't. You're exaggerating. Come on. Don't joke
I'm
like
not saying
that.
the movie quality. I'm saying it essentially was just like visually, what is this for me? I'm watching Mark Wahlberg pretty much shirtless, The Rock pretty much shirtless, and I'm just like, is this for me? Like, is this supposed to be for my demographic? Like, I don't understand what I'm watching. So yeah, I just really couldn't get into it. I'm just like, what is this? But anyway, Trevon, what else have you been watching?
Hold on. I'm just gonna run down my list real quick. Have Nots last season. Love that show. I don't care about to say. Flash, Superman and Lois, The Conjuring, the new one. I just watched that literally 45 minutes ago. Just finished that movie right before this. So the new one. Love Victor. Watched episode 1 last night. They streamed the first episode last night on Twitter. Love that show too. Loki. I need to watch the last season of Pose, but I hear it makes you cry, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. And I need to get back to Batwoman. What made me want to get back into it is the Batwing costume.
Loki.
That shit looks ugly. Oh God.
I like it. I like it. I think it's cool that they're doing it.
I think it's kind of cool. It's a different interpretation.
It's
so
cool that they're doing it. I mean, I didn't think they were gonna do it. I didn't think they were gonna do anything like that.
I looked at that costume. I was like, "What the hell are they thinking?
What is it supposed to look? I don't know what you got. I don't know what you guys expect from some of these things.
Yo, see, I'm pissed. I can't believe CW has gone as far as it did.
What's wrong with? I mean, I don't know.
By the way, I'm shaking my head for an entirely different. I don't agree with anything AJ just said.
I thought it was cool.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the suit. I do believe that mask was heavily influenced by Arkham Knight. I literally thought.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Just like
the mask is. I think that's the worst part for me. It's giving like almost. It's like fake Vader. Like, look at it.
Yeah, it's very bulky. But to be fair, I do believe it's more so the look of the photo. I don't think it'll be that bulky when we get to the show. But my issues with Batwoman will always be putting her in Gotham and then literally obliterating everything of the Bat family just to justify her. is probably the most stupidest writing I've ever seen in my life.
So what do you think of what's going to go on with Nightwing if they don't have Batman in it?
No, I don't need Batman in Nightwing, but I don't like the idea that Batman just doesn't exist.
Okay.
I don't like that. Like, first of all, Nightwing can exist without Batman because he's stationed in Bloodhaven. But if you put Nightwing in Gotham and said that there was no Batman, throw the whole thing in the garbage. That's idiotic.
I have a question real quick.
I mean, how do you feel about Supergirl then when they kept, Superman's around, my cousin's around, but you never see him?
No,
he came eventually.
But here's the difference.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, how they started, though. You never knew who was coming or not.
Superman was around. You didn't need to see him. In this show, Batman's gone. Jim Gordon's gone. Alfred's
But Batman
gone.
exists. Batman exists.
Gone.
No, Batman exists in this show, though.
No.
They said he didn't exist.
They said he just disappeared.
What I'm saying, he exists. You got like they have no mention, and she just became Batwoman out of nowhere. Like he existed.
Here's the problem, though.
He exists.
There's no Batman in sight. All the Robins are gone. There's no Alfred, and it's just the idea of like this could have been in any other city than Gotham. You put it in Gotham and then stripped everything of Gotham so that she could be your main hero. Idiot.
So is this series connected to Titans?
No.
Okay, it was sounding like no, because I'm like
is
Batman's in there.
The Titans?
No.
They're on their own. They're on a different world.
Well,
I
they
feel
showed
like,
up in Crisis. They did show them in Crisis.
They said like 38 or something.
They're in the same world. They're in the same world.
I'm saying, but they are acknowledged that they are
that they exist in the same world, but nothing connects.
Multiverse. Yeah.
Who was asking me about if Nightwing, something about Nightwing? Someone was asking me something.
AJ.
What?
Oh, I thought
about Nightwing.
Something about
Nightwing. No, you already said what I wanted to hear, so you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's my issue with Batwoman. That'll always be my issue with Batwoman. Them conforming to Ruby Rose leaving, and then just and then creating a new character instead of just recasting it. I'll never agree with that.
They recast Batwoman.
What did you want to do?
Didn't they recast Batwoman?
They did now. They have now. They have now.
Wallace Day.
Yes, they
but
did
it was
now,
like,
but that's even stupider. That you created a new character only to bring Kate back.
But I think they just had to figure it out. Like, I mean, if I was like, okay, what are we supposed to do with this? Like, so they figured they made a new.
That should have been planned.
They didn't plan.
Planned for a person to leave a show immediately, like that. Like, she abruptly left to me. Like,
and then you recast.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It takes the same amount of brain power to create a new character as it would to just recast her. I don't understand. The only reason they created a new character was to leave the door open for her to come back if she ever wanted to. I will never conform to an actor over a character. The characters are more important than the actor.
Just like you said about Black Panther, but I don't agree there either. So, but
I will never understand that.
I get that's your stance, but I don't agree.
So you think after Christopher Reeves, we should have never had another Superman?
Well, I didn't really care about that.
Okay, you enjoyed The Dark Knight, so after Christian Bale, we never have another Batman, right?
I hate it.
Just leave it at that.
Batman.
But my point is, the idea of you can't rest a character on an actor. Heath Ledger's Joker was amazing. No one was lining up to say, let's retire the Joker. Like, that's idiotic. Why would you retire a character?
I mean, I guess maybe I'm hypocritical then. I don't know. I'll just deal with that. I just deal with that. Sorry, but I don't know. I just don't see. They figured out a way to do it. They did it, and that's what they did. I don't know. I liked it. It was a black Batwoman. I was excited about that. So I don't know.
Sure, but I mean, to me, you could have always have done that. But to me, it's the idea of Kate Kane. The story of Kate Kane had only just begun.
I got it.
And you literally just told your whole fan base, well, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're going to go to someone else. And it's just like, you just gave her to us, right? And it's just like, well, that's it? The whole story, the whole legacy of Batman going to Batwoman is of Kate Kane. And now it's just like, what is this? What journey am I on? So to me, unacceptable by the Batwoman writers. I was a part of that panel when they were when Javicia was talking about it, and I turned my video off because I was just sitting there just like, I don't agree with you.
No.
Why did you go to the panel?
Because I had to. I watched the screeners, so I had to be a
You
part
didn't
of
have
it.
to.
Yeah, I would like to get more screeners. So yes, you.
Why would you want more screeners if you hate it?
No, not of Batwoman, of the DC universe, Trevon. Anyway, yeah. Please do watch Batwoman season 1.
You sure?
Keep up with Batwoman season 2. Because it's continuity. And don't listen to AJ. The CW is not bad. It is the only thing in DC that is doing things with a continuity.
But it's still bad.
It's definitely not bad. It's not bad.
Just because it has continuity doesn't make it not bad. But...
No, it also has good shows. Arrow has at least 4 good seasons.
Okay, I'll give you the first 3 seasons of Arrow, the first 3 seasons of Flash.
Okay.
Good. I actually liked the first season
of Superman and Lois is good.
I didn't watch Superman and Lois, so I'm.
It's great.
Stargirl was really good.
Didn't like Stargirl.
Black Lightning was really good.
Black Lightning, I did enjoy season 1.
The first 2 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow were really good. All their crossovers have slapped. They have not had a bad crossover yet. All of their crossovers have been good. They have not failed yet with their, and they did things that we probably will never see in the DC. So to me, I applaud them. And here's the crazy thing. Everyone that tells me they don't like the CW tells me how much they love Smallville, and I don't get the difference.
I don't like Smallville.
I don't.
Hello. We will not stand a Smallville today. Stop. Cut the cameras. We will not stand a Smallville today.
I don't like Smallville
today.
I will forever say this. That costume department definitely should have been fired day one. Whoever drew up the specs and then handed it in and said, hey, this is what an Aquaman should look like. Yeah, no, throw that in the garbage. I don't know what that was. I won't even conform to that being okay for the time. That was hot doo-doo garbage. And yeah, Superman.
You had me dying on Twitter the other day when you posted that video of Flash breakdancing.
Oh yeah.
That annoyed me so much when you posted it. I was like, it's out of context. Like,
here's the thing though. Here's the thing that frustrated me about you and Joel. It's not out of context. If you watch it in context, it's still the most ridiculous thing for Flash to be doing on a Tuesday night.
Why?
It's ridiculous. Him breakdancing? Why?
He was under the influence of Rainbow. Okay, whatever.
It was an episode of Power Rangers. Okay. That's essentially what the Flash is turned into. It's as silly as you would expect Power Rangers to be because it's for children.
Oh, we're not doing that. Hold on. Oh no, we're not doing that. I cut this camera off. I'm out of here.
That's what it's become. I'm sorry. I'll never get over the fact that we had a black Power Ranger and everyone fought normal but him. He had to break dance to fight. That was just like, oh, y'all just gonna be all the way racist here, okay? All right, cool, whatever. But yeah, no, that was not out of context. And if you think it was, people go watch the episode and then tell me if you thought that was the most.
He was under the influence. He wasn't just doing that to do it. Like, oh, let's break dance.
That does see because I haven't been watching Flash, so that does kind of affect the way I felt about that clip. Because if he was under the influence of something that makes more sense than him just like, look, y'all, this is what I learned today. Yeah. Like, what?
That's not what he was doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. If you think that makes it better, absolutely, no problem. But it still was the most ridiculous thing I could be watching on a Tuesday night.
Have some fun. Have some joy.
Thank God for recordings because I was able to fast forward through all that. And I was glad I missed the whole Chester coming in and the resident black guy showing him how to pop lock and everything. Good old racism always finds a way to showcase itself. But anyway, was that it? Was that everything, Trevon?
Yeah.
All right. I have been
so depressed.
You wounded his spirit.
You sound defeated.
I've been watching Sweet Tooth. It is very good. The kid is adorable.
It's trash.
Usually what I'm looking for. Have you watched it?
I sure haven't, but I saw a little clip of it, so it's trash.
Oh no!
We're just coming for each other on this podcast now.
Anyway, I've been watching Sweet Tooth, and I've also been watching. I've also caught up on Evil. That is a brilliant show. that does not get talked about enough. Mike Coulter is amazing in that show.
It's pretty cool.
I love Evil. I love everything about it. I finished season 1 expecting season 2. I thought season 3 was coming out on CBS All Access or Paramount Plus. But it's season 2. So evidently Evil, I guess, ended not too long ago. So season 2 premieres June 20th on Paramount Plus. So I will be checking that out. I really do hope it's not a weekly thing. If it is, I will just skip it all till they get to the finale and binge it all. I don't subscribe to week, especially if I'm paying for it. If I'm paying for it, you give me the option to have it all at once. You don't make me wait.
And for Disney Plus.
The only difference of that is the shows are of demand. Like, I will watch Bad Batch week to week.
It's starting to be HBO Max too. They're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, HBO Max, I will group my cancellation of you. I will cancel my DirecTV and I will cancel HBO Max if you start making me wait for things. You give it to me all at once. All at once, or not at all.
I like the weekly.
You like the weekly? But I thought the whole point of the subscription base was to differentiate itself from cable television.
I like trying to keep you subscribed.
I like the weekly because it builds hype. With me, binging is like drugs. You like it and then you regret it.
You go through it so quickly.
I haven't come to that moment yet.
I have multiple times.
Yeah, same,
good example, The Witcher. I love the shit out of that. And I watched that all at once. As soon as I finished, I was like, shit. Now I have nothing else to watch.
But okay, let me ask you this. How do you feel after you get through the last week of the last episode?
I feel good because I get to talk about everything as it shows.
No. But what is your feeling? Like, that's it. It's the same thing.
I feel accomplished. I don't feel like, oh, I'm done. Okay. I have nothing else to talk about.
I think it's kind of like having like a short fling versus like a relationship where, you know, at the end of it, you come to terms and you're like, yeah, we know this is ending, but we had a nice run, you know, versus just like, oh, I just want you right now. And that's like, oh, that was a mistake. So, you know.
Oh, no.
I've never experienced that, but you know, I
have not yet felt that, but y'all are making it sound like it is the worst feeling. So I hope I don't ever experience that. But keep giving me my shows all at once. I love it. And when it's over, it's just over. I mean, that's it. It's the same thing as if I had waited the 8 weeks. It's over, essentially, whether I waited or watched it all at once. The point is, it's over. So to me, just give me the option. That's all I ask for. I'll even pay $20 a month to have the ability to watch it all.
No, too many streaming service for that. Don't get them no ideas. Too many.
Yes, give them ideas. Yes. Listen, take the ideas. Okay. When The Boys drops, want it all at once.
Nope, that's definitely weekly.
I don't want that weekly.
Yeah, and that's probably
that's definitely weekly. They already tried it.
I'll tell y'all this. Streaming services, bill me $20 if y'all want.
For each one of us.
My content all at once. That's what I'll
Juwaan must have money over there.
Okay. No, to me, certain things in life are worth paying for. It's like whenever you go to like a really good restaurant and the food's extremely expensive, but you know it's worth it. It's like, I will pay the money because I know it's worth it.
But I would rather save that money so I can get Hot Toys.
Even these damn toys. Oh God. Oh God.
I would say me paying $20 a month for 4 streaming services are still nowhere near as much as AJ pays for Hot Toys. So I would say AJ's the one riddled with money.
$20 a month adds up to a whole bunch more than a Hot Toy.
For 4 different ones.
Definitely for 4 different things. Yes.
AJ, you just put a Thor that was
continuous bill.
$60.
It's a continuous bill. A Hot Toy is just a one payment deal.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about overall. Listen to me. If it's 4 different services that I'm paying $20 a month for, yes, at the end of the year, it accumulates, right? But my point to you is, think of it, one Hot Toy was $263. Okay? A month I'm not paying $263. And usually that was one installment.
You're still paying over $263.
Anyway, let's move on. AJ, you do age me the more I talk to you.
Are you not still paying over $263? At the end of the day, you are paying more than $263.
Right. So then let me ask you, at the end of the year, you've bought 5 hot toys that are $263. Does that amount to more than what I'm paying over the course of the year?
Yeah.
All right, then. So we're moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You think I'm buying hot toys monthly? No, I'm not doing that.
No one said you are. I said over the course of a year.
That's the comparison, though.
But you could buy it 4 times in a year and it amounts to more.
Doing a monthly
anyway, I'm done with you.
Exactly.
A potential Nightwing movie is in the works. It's been in the works since 2016. I have no faith that this movie will be made. Actually, you know what? And I'm glad, Shekinah, you put it in the comments. Chris McKay was the original director for Nightwing. He directed Lego Batman. I have messages in my Twitter inbox of me talking to Chris McKay back in 2016 about us setting up an interview for him once he starts to get the Nightwing movie up and running. And it made me cry because Nightwing was supposed to happen all those years ago. And we're now talking about it possibly happening.
So what you're telling me is he delayed the movie to avoid you.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't want to do that interview, y'all.
I will say we did stop.
Take your time. Take your time.
After Warner Brothers scrapped the Nightwing movie, we did stop talking. Like we haven't talked since 2017.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean that adds up. Thank you, Jaime, for making me feel horrible.
Listen, I'm just here to give you the truth. You know, you don't need that. You don't need that in your life.
This boy harassing me in my DMs.
No, it was always fun conversations with us, talking Lego Batman and stuff. I will tell you this: what he had planned for Nightwing was beautiful. I will say it was as beautiful as what Ben had planned for his Batman movie. So. Who knows? I don't know. I'll say this. Warner Brothers is more interested in kicking Batgirl into gear. So I don't know.
Are they?
Yeah.
Isn't she getting knocked down to just an HBO Max movie now?
Well, here's the thing. They're on a huge woman movement. I will tell you this. 3 movies you don't have to worry about being scrapped. Zatanna, Supergirl, and Batgirl. Those 3 movies, out of anything else you're hearing about, are the most definitive to be made.
I would rather.
They do want to start. Well, he's not part of their process. That's a whole different line that's doing.
I know, but
it's why I told you
on that.
He probably won't be connected to anything. It'll probably just be its own thing.
And that's fine. I just
it's not fine. I need Black Lightning to show up at some point in a Static.
Black Lightning has sailed. We're done. Black Lightning. I'm here for Static Shock. I don't care.
I just said I want a Static Shock movie, but I want it to connect to Black Light. I want Black Lightning to be like a
mentor.
I wanted him to be a student at the school in the show, and then his spin-off to his own TV show. That's what I wanted.
Again, talking to Chris Williams, he did say that was something they kicked around, but again, Warner Brothers always comes in and goes,
yeah.
Warner Brothers.
Because I remember sitting there and I remember going, I can't leave you without asking about Static Shock. And he goes, I know it's something that was being talked about. I don't know if we'll ever see it manifest, but there have been conversations about Static Shock. And I always thought, how do you miss that if you're Warner Brothers?
It was so perfect.
How do you miss the opportunity of having a student that is essentially the same as your main hero? And then spinning off into a Static Shock show. They were literally going to give us a show about a villain turned good before giving us a Static Shock show. Whoever is running things over there does not know what they are doing.
They even had a kid on the show that fitted. I was like,
that could have been him? Yeah, I remember when I first saw him, I was like, they're doing Static. And then when you saw his role play, I was just like, they're not doing Static. I don't what was that?
I think that's what checked me out of the show. Like, I still like the show, but I was like, this just made me mad. This just made me.
It's
your opportunity.
Yeah, they dropped the ball. Shekinah, I'm gonna start off with you. The likelihood this Nightwing movie gets made, and if it does, how excited would you be to see them start off with a Nightwing movie?
I don't know. You know how I feel about WB. We all know how we all feel about WB. I just don't. I have zero faith, and I feel like because I'm so comfortable with like Brenton Thwaites now, if they do the movie, I know it won't be him. Like it won't be him, and then I don't want to have to like now see a new one. Like it's just I'm gonna get annoyed at the casting. I can already feel it. So if it happens, I'll watch it, but I am not excited.
To me, I like. Oh, go ahead, Trevon.
I was about to say, it worries me. Like WWE is very famous for this. Like if they do Nightwing, Titans is definitely getting canceled. Like I feel like
I don't agree
to do that for me every time.
I think because of Titans is why I don't think this movie will be made anytime soon.
What I'm saying, they're gonna be either or. It won't be both. We won't have both.
But you also shouldn't have both. To me, it's redundant. Let there be one telling of the character, and let that be our focus.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Jaime.
I was gonna say, like, at least for me, the story, what are we on, season 2? It kind of was moving past Dick Grayson and kind of getting more into Beast Boy, and they explored Raven more in the first season. They haven't really like gone back to Starfire and like her kind of like figuring things out. So I feel like there's definitely a reason to keep going with Titans.
Well, this new season is all about Starfire.
We got Blackfire coming in. Yeah,
because you got Blackfire coming in, so it'll be all about Starfire. But last season it wasn't meant to put Dick Grayson in the background. It was meant to kill Robin, so that Nightwing could come alive. Yeah. So it was about letting people know that it was an ascension it was really like the Phoenix Rising for Nightwing. But to me, I'm very much on, because to me it's like, all right, you're doing Flash on the show and you're doing a Flash movie. But what stresses me is there's only but so many Flash stories you can do. So it's the idea of, we literally just saw the show do Flashpoint. Now your movie's about to do Flashpoint.
That's why the show will get canceled.
The only thing that's going to be different between the show's Flashpoint and the movies is the show could never bring in a Bruce Wayne, let alone 2 Bruce Waynes, or a Wonder Woman or an Aquaman, because they were never going to allow them to do that. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't really need to see you doing. That's why CW should have just stuck with B and C level heroes. But when you introduce the Supermans, the Flashes, it's like, those are guys you put in movies. The show should be your Green Arrows, your Vixens, your Black Lightnings. Guys that people just really don't know about, that you could really explore there. But to me, I don't know. Like I said, you have the only reason why a Nightwing movie to me would be interesting is because in the show, he's never been to Bloodhaven. He went straight from Gotham to Chicago. So it's the idea of a whole world being explored in Bloodhaven, that I would love to see be explored. So there's a lot you could do, but to me, I like you to build up Dick Grayson. I very much like him as Robin, becoming Nightwing, becoming the leader of the Titans, and then you branching off and doing like a whole Titans movie. So just starting off with Nightwing, I'll be interested to see it. Because you'd have to do flashbacks. And if you do flashbacks, who the hell's Batman is he going to be running around with? Like, don't do what Titan season 1 did, where you blur Batman's face. And it's like, don't do that. Don't.
You get to see him in season 2, but I want to recast. He seems like, I literally thought the first time I saw him, I'm like, what is Alfred doing here? And then he kept saying like Bruce, all this stuff. I'm like, no.
I said that. That is, he's an old man. Why would you do that?
But I will say where Warner Brothers dropped the ball, you very easily could have just said Ben was his Batman. But you didn't. You don't. Like, here's the thing people don't understand. Once Dick Grayson leaves Bruce to become a Teen Titan and lead that group, you don't really have to show us Bruce Wayne. We know he exists. We know he's there. We don't have to actually see him. But as vicious as Dick Grayson was, which anyone who reads the comic book knows Dick Grayson was never the violent type. But to see how brutal he was, that was Ben's Batman. Why wouldn't you connect those two? To me, it was just an opportunity missed. But again, it goes to you guys' love for Zach and him killing off Dick Grayson, so, great decision making. Anyway, AJ, how good are you? Do you think this Nightwing movie will ever actually happen?
No.
I promised myself that I would never be negative towards DC anymore because I got tired of it.
You just shitted on the CW, which is DC.
No, I'm just talking about the movies. I don't give a
Okay, all right. So you're selective with what you're negative.
Exactly.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna continue to hate on CW. That stays the same.
Oh boy.
But
I mean, you'll get your wish.
I don't
be canceled soon.
What you say?
You'll get your wish. They'll all be canceled soon.
Hopeful, but I do believe that this is not going to happen. Warner Brothers is known for promising something and then end up being canceled. Hence, Nightwing got canceled. Now it's back again. So I'm not going to believe anything until we actually get full confirmation that it's either filming or no. If it's filming, that's about it. So
yeah, no, I mean, look, I share your sentiment, man. It's to the point where it's just like, if they were able to just create an actual plausible timeline, right? And I don't mean timeline for when their movies come out. I mean an actual start to finish on what you want your world to be. These movies would fit better because you go, okay, I see here, you had Robin with Batman for 2 movies. It's time for him to ascend to his own. So you could bring in another Robin in the next Batman movie. So that makes sense. You're making him Nightwing. Perfect. But the fact that we have a Nightwing and you've already established in this DCEU, his Dick Grayson's dead, right? So it's like, well, is this not part of the DCEU? Is it rebooted? What's happening here? Because I damn sure don't want to see a Nightwing in the Batman. The guy just started, and already his Robin is
like, damn, this shit is hard. I need some help.
Like, what? Like, already he's just like, yo, I cannot handle this on my own. Thank goodness you are here. And it's like, no, that's stupid. And again, a Nightwing movie shouldn't be standalone. It shouldn't be Elseworld. So to me, it's just the idea of you're just throwing a lot of darts at the board, and none of them are hitting the main spot. And that's what's stressing me. So yeah, I'm with you, AJ. It's very possible we go down the road and it's like, oh, well, Batgirl's starting to film, but Nightwing will never see the light of day.
It's like they refuse to think about the long run. All they care about is, let's put a movie out here, then there, then here, see if it sticks. And then they're going to continue forward after that. But what they really should be doing is plan, like you said, plan the world first. And then you can bring in your directors, your writers, and they can start planning the story. And if you all agree, good. That means you guys all have a plan and it'll stick if you guys all agree with it. And that also means you guys can start announcing things, especially since you either start writing a couple of them or start filming a couple of them. Then you can start announcing your slate. But don't announce your slate first and then, hey, let's start planning it out.
Right. And to give the listeners a perfect example, what DC is doing, picture if WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki, right, all came out. But then Kevin Feige came out and told you none of them connect to what we're doing in the MCU. You would go, what? Then what was that? What did I just watch? And it's like, I just wanted to, create some stories with these characters. It's like, no, Kevin, that makes no sense. Like, why would you do that? Why would you create a new Captain America, but tell us it's not a part of the main continuity? Then who the hell is our Captain America? So it's the idea of we enjoyed these stories because we know they connect. We know they mean more going forward. But if these 3 shows were Elseworld shows, none of us would really be that invested in it, because it would be like, well, what are you telling here? Like, all right, Loki escaped, but at the end, it connects to nothing. We watched the whole WandaVision only for her to ascend to becoming Scarlet Witch, and it connects to nothing. We'll never see it again. So to me, that's essentially what a Nightwing movie without a Batman means, is that we're connecting it to nothing. It's just a guy. So, not a fan of that. Trevon, what are your thoughts? You think this is ever going to see the light of day?
I don't even know if the Flash will see the light of day, honestly.
It's currently filming, so
it's filming. Will it come out? I don't know.
I will say this.
They're going to waste their money like that.
I was about to say,
yeah. I don't know.
DC has never started filming and then canceled something. If they cancel it, it never sees the light of day. Like, filming doesn't even begin. They don't even, a director.
Yeah, they'll still be on their first draft.
Right, they'll be like, I always picture this is what Warner Brothers does. They get a writer. He's in the middle of writing it, right? Like, going hard. And DC just kicks the door open, scratch it, throw it in the garbage. And it's like, I'm on page 300. What do you mean? Throw it in the garbage.
Throw it away.
Burn everything. We're not doing it anymore.
You know, it's funny. They still get paid for it too, though. The writers.
That's why I never get upset. I'd never be upset if I was a writer over there.
It was like, okay,
hey, Juwaan,
I'm still getting my money, right?
Script we're throwing in the garbage. That $2 million check still cleared though, right?
I mean, that would motivate me to just like not even try my writing if I know it's going to get canceled all the time.
Wait, time out, Jaime. You know what I was just thinking? It would be our luck that by our 6th script that we're just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna put Mulan in this movie. Aladdin. That's the one they're like, hey, you got that script ready? Turn it in. And then you give it to them and they're like, Aladdin?
What is this?
Mermaid, what is this? You're fired. And it's like, oh, damn it.
And then they make it.
I should have saved the good ideas for this one. But yeah, to me, it's just like they're not putting the money in it and starting filming if it's not going to see the light of day. So
okay,
this
will
happen.
Okay, maybe they'll finish it, but then they won't like the end result, and then they'll reshoot the whole thing.
That's possible.
That's a
Warner Brothers move. That's Warner Brothers move. It's like, hey, I didn't like how this movie looked. Should we just release it?
Well, they did finish filming Flash, right?
No, they're still filming.
Are they?
Yeah, they just.
I don't know why I thought they were on post-production already. But okay.
Oh, no.
Heck no. I tell you,
started.
If they were on post-production, the photo of Batman's symbol that we got would have been him in the full suit. They would have given you a full look at him.
My whole timeline with the Flash is all over the place. So
look, AJ, I don't blame that on you. This is a movie that should have came out 5 years ago. So I put that on them.
Do we have the date for the Batman yet?
Say it again.
Do we have the actual date for the Batman yet?
Yeah, I think it's.
No,
they haven't told us the date.
It just says 2022. So
no. It said like March of 2022.
Let's see.
February.
It's February.
Did I imagine that? I don't know.
I know they gave a month. I don't know if they gave like the day of the month, but they gave a month of next year.
It says March 4th, 2022.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought they gave. Yeah, I thought they gave a date. Go ahead, Trevon. What were you saying?
Interesting. I'm wondering. I honestly don't trust DC at all at this point. Like, I'm just like, did they like this movie? Did have anybody came out and said they liked it? Like, we're definitely getting the Batman as it was filmed. Like, I just
don't listen to the rumors about DC or any. If you want to focus on anything, just focus on the trades. Don't listen to any other website that would be like.
Focus on us. we don't put out
exactly.
clickbait garbage. Focus on us. But I tell you this: there's one person in all of DC you never have to worry about them scrapping. It's Batman. They will put that shit out hell or high water because Batman wants printable money. Mm-hmm. Good or bad, people will always go out and see Batman. So that is something you never have to worry about. But anything else, I agree with you, Trevon. That's fair game. And I am a little bit worried that we're almost midway through June, and I've not heard one thing about the Suicide Squad outside of the actors that are literally in the movie. Mm-hmm. I've not heard like anyone saying like the studio is really high on it. Like it's something they're really pushing. I've only heard the actors say it's amazing, and it's like, yeah, you're in it. Of course you say that. I've never heard an actor in a movie go, man, that shit was doo-doo cakes. Like, I hated it.
I mean,
except for Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi. He was very vocal about not liking that.
I'm still perplexed by that. I don't still understand how they let him do this Peacemaker show or whatever. I still don't understand.
We don't understand about it.
Why? Like, we don't know who this guy is yet. Like,
we didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was successful.
I'm also
they didn't give you a spinoff before it came out.
But we are getting a spinoff.
I'm saying they didn't give us a spinoff before we even meet
time out. But the spinoff doesn't come out before the movie. The movie's still before the.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. You're saying they didn't greenlight a Star-Lord show.
Yeah,
before the movie came out. I get what you're saying, but you'll know who he is by the time the actual show comes out. But also, you got to think of it like this. I believe that studio is just writing James Gunn blank checks. So if James Gunn says, I want to make a movie about, I don't know, just a car, I think they would allow him to make it. So I think he very much is starting to gain some power over there. And that's why I told you guys, I think he's going to be the new golden boy.
I feel like they should have learned that lesson with Joss. So they brought him over because he's an Avengers guy and thought he could do.
Well, no, the difference is the difference is I think with James Gunn, I think when you look at Guardians and how he was able to make that work, where it's characters no one's ever seen before, he was the most ideal guy to carry on an ensemble filled with people no one's ever heard of before.
Also, James Gunn is more versatile than Joss. James Gunn is more versatile than Joss is.
There, yeah.
Slither or any other of his movies, you can tell a huge difference between his movies.
Yep,
I agree. That's true. I don't know.
I agree. But no, I would definitely never compare James Gunn to Joss Whedon. I'm
talking about I'm not talking about their.
Also, Joss isn't
their clout. I'm talking about their clout. Why they hired him in the first place? They hired Joss. He was the Avengers guy. Yes, he could do our movies. You get James Gunn. Oh, he did Guardians. I was like, you grabbing them because of
you're assuming
movies.
You're assuming that.
I mean, look. Okay. Here's the thing, though, Trevon. When you're looking for a director, you're interviewing.
And I didn't like Guardians too.
Hundreds of guys.
So,
it very well could have been. It was just his pitch. They loved his pitch. It wasn't necessarily like his resume. It was the idea of when they sat down in front of him, he painted a world that they loved. And that's what they were sold by. Okay. I think what got him in the room is what he was able to do with Guardians and make that $1 billion walking thing. Yeah. Because you got to think, no. Think of Guardians as a whole. It's merchandise sales with Groot. Everything.
Oh yeah, I really want a dancing Groot so bad.
Yeah, right. I think James Gunn just struck another Groot with King Shark. They're going to kill us with King Shark merch. So yeah, I think James Gunn was more so selected based off of his pitch and less about what he was able to do with his success over in Marvel. So
we'll see.
Look, anyone that's suspicious of DC, it's warranted. But I will say, open yourself to the possibility of one day they could snap out of it.
I have high hopes for this Batman movie.
I'll say this. Think of it like this. Sony is one of the most untrustworthy people ever. Or I'll give you a better example. Fox, very untrustworthy. They had a string of bad movies. And then one day they woke up.
Logan.
No, not Logan. They gave us what was the first one with No. The one before that. I'm sorry, you said First Class. Yes. First Class. They woke up one day, gave us that, and then they followed it up with Days of Future Past. And then, like you said, we got Deadpool, we got Logan. So they woke up.
That's because at the end of the day, Sony stopped interfering. They're like, "Hey, directors, you can do what you want to do."
But that's what I'm saying.
They gave him more leeway.
I'm just saying, if Fox, who was literally the dumpster fire of comic book movies, could wake up one day and give us 4 classics, Warner Brothers can wake up one day. So let's see.
Hopefully that one day is within
or get sold.
Well, Fox gave us those 4 classics before they got sold. So I'm just saying, it's possible. Jaime, you got any faith in this Nightwing movie? And are you interested in seeing a Nightwing movie?
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested. I am not super optimistic about it, but I feel like everybody's been like not so optimistic. So I'll say I'm not optimistic about it, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it will see the light of day at some point.
Fingers crossed. And fingers crossed that when it does get made, it's part of something. So
2077 when we're all dead.
Hold on, time out. Why do I have to be dead in 2077?
I won't be dead in 2077. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I hope I'm still
just
here.
Joking. Calm down. Calm down.
It's like you guys are gonna hit old age and immediately die. Doesn't have to be like that, sir. All right, let's move on here. We got a possible casting for Namor. Shekinah, if you could do me the biggest favor and grab his name for me. I forgot to grab his name when I did the topics. No, just grab the name from just what you call it. Yeah. But it does look like we have a casting for Namor. I know a lot of people were assuming an Asian descent is where they were going for Namor. But they decided to swerve it and go more a Hispanic route for Namor. You can't say his name. Just send it to me.
Not Huerta. At least that's what
there we go.
We're gonna go with what Trevon said. That is the name that is floating around, possibly being the casting for Namor. Again, this has not been confirmed by Disney, so always take these reports with a grain of salt. So they are confirmed. I will remind people, Moon Knight was only just confirmed by Disney a week ago, but we've known about it for it feels like a year now.
I was surprised when they're like, yeah, it's official. I'm like, it wasn't official before?
Yeah, that's a way of saying, hey, we could have easily fallen out. Like, they could have had a disagreement. He stepped away. So I think they really like to wait until things are secure, everything's good. So they just confirmed that like a week ago. So but here's the thing. Here's why I said when there's smoke, there's fire. Black Panther starts filming next month. So if this guy is indeed Namor, they won't be able to hide it for much longer. Mm-hmm. So whether they confirm it or not, whoever is Namor, if he's even in the movie, we will know soon. Mm-hmm. So to me, even if this guy is not Namor, I still give credit to Illuminati for the idea of Namor possibly even being in the movie. Because again, remember, that was not confirmed by anybody that Namor was going to be in the movie. We just all assumed it because it's like, well, you literally use all of Black Panther's villains in one movie. So it's like, I don't know really who else you're going with unless you bring in Dr. Doom or Namor. Which anyone who's wondering, Manape in the comics, who's M'Baku, is a villain, not a friend. Killmonger, villain. Then you killed off Ulysses. You killed off Claw. So it's like that's his 3 biggest villains. You've either killed off or made a friend. So it really kind of was limiting where you can go. So if this is the case, to me, once they made it clear they weren't going to recast T'Challa, I really don't care who the villains are for Black Panther movies going forward. Because you still have to sell me on who the hell is the Black Panther. So I was very much looking for T'Challa versus Namor. Now that I know I'm not getting that, you could make Namor a woman, and I wouldn't have argued it. I at this point don't care. So I'm fine with the casting. I only know the gentleman from Narcos. I enjoyed him in Narcos, but that's really all I know him for. He's going to be in the new Purge movie. So anyone who sees the new Purge movie can see him again in that. But that's really all I view on it. Shekinah, what were your thoughts?
I had no clue who he was, so I thought it was gonna be Henry Golding. I wanted Henry Golding. I don't know why, really? But I just saw it. I just saw Henry Golding. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Like Marvel don't really tend to miss. So if he's the one, I'm sure he'll do a great job. Is what it is.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to casting, you literally have to approach it like that. Like, it's not what I wanted, but hey, whatever. I always remind people, no one knew who the hell Chris Hemsworth was before he was Thor. And now people love Thor. So it's the idea of, it has to catch on. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shekinah.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you're like English, Australian, we have like a show called like Neighbours, an Australian show, so you saw it before, that you know who he was. He was low key to like the other side, not you guys on the big side. The smaller people, our side, knew him a little bit.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. To a lot of people, it was their first time. And I'm sure there are a million, like I know a lot of people wanted for the longest. Can't believe I just forgot his name. I'm horrible. With Charlie Hunnam to be Thor. Because he had that Norse god face. But it didn't work that way. And now look at where we are. We love Chris Hemsworth as Thor. So, it's just the idea of, you can't really argue too much on it because Marvel just has a way of making you fall. I remind people also, do you guys know who James Gunn originally wanted as Star-Lord? He wanted Brad Pitt. Now you look at who we got as Star-Lord, and you're like, I really like that Star-Lord.
It makes sense. Chris Pratt is the only one that can see a Star-Lord. Sorry, he's the only one.
Only because you've had him as Star-Lord. So now that's all you can picture. Same thing. John Krasinski was almost our Captain America. Can't picture it.
I can't see that. I can't see that.
Only because we had Chris Evans for so long.
It's because I just see Jim. I just see scrawny Jim from the office. Him bulking up to be Captain America would be like out of the experience. It was like, this is
I'm gonna be honest.
Have you seen
Chris Evans has never been as buff as he is now ever before. When you even look at Johnny
Fantastic Four.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's
he looked good in that too, though. He did good.
He did. Yeah, he still did well. Like, yeah.
It worked.
So again, like I said, when it comes to castings, we definitely can have what we picture. Like personally, for me, Shekinah, I wanted Luke Evans as Namor. To me, his nationality never really mattered to me.
Dracula.
I get that it matters to other people, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't. I get you, but to me, Luke Evans looks exactly like Namor, fresh out of the comics. When you look at
Sinestro for me, not Namor, Sinestro. Other side.
I do agree that he should be Sinestro also. Luke Evans, he just has a bad guy face. That mustache can only be pulled off by villains. So I get it. But if you look at Namor in the comics, like after this show's over, just Google Namor and then Google Luke Evans, they look exactly the same. So I was just like, Luke Evans is a great actor. He could definitely pull off Namor. So, but again, can't really boggle too much with it because we can't change it if it is true. We got to accept it. But AJ, I'm going to go to you. Your thoughts on this possible casting for Namor?
I've never heard of him. I've never watched, what was it?
Narcos.
Yeah, I've never watched that show ever. So it's a whatever casting. I would have casted Joe Taslim, or however you say his name, on Warriors.
Okay.
Well, technically anybody in Warriors could have played Namor. It doesn't really matter to me. Even the females could have played Namor. Okay.
I don't know why, but I took that so offensively.
I mean, everybody on Warriors is a great actor.
No. I know what you're saying.
But I doubt that Namor's going to be in Black Panther 2. But did Ryan Coogler, he had to rewrite it, right?
No, he didn't start writing it yet. When Chadwick had passed, I think they had just started doing like drafts of the script.
Got you.
So I don't know, because again, we don't know what that script was, but all of us assumed it had to do with Namor. So I think now really all you're doing is just a little bit of a swerve to explain who the new Black Panther is, but probably everything else around it is probably the same. Yeah. If indeed it was always meant for Namor to be in there.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing you had to change is who your Black Panther is. So, but again, we don't know this, but I think when Chadwick had passed, he was just turning in drafts to Kevin Feige. So I believe that was in the timeline where, they could have just done rewrites or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, you know how much I love Andrew Koji. Andrew Koji could have been Namor.
Yep.
I love me some Andrew Koji. Can't wait for that Snake Eyes movie, only to see Andrew Koji. I just love Andrew Koji. But Jaime, what are your thoughts? How familiar are you with Namor, and have you seen this actor in Narcos?
I have not seen Narcos, so no. And I actually was learning more about Namor through other podcasts, like different podcasts talking about the end of Black Panther and like where they see it going. So I think I do have like a little bit of a advantage there because I'm not super familiar with Namor. I don't have high expectations for like, oh, they have to look this way or they have to act this way. Right. So I'm just willing to accept whoever they promote, honestly.
And I will always forever say that is the best spot to always be in, to where you're familiar, you know the character, like you know the character exists, but you've never really read the book, so you're not invested. So if they came out tomorrow and was like, I want to make Namora, you'd be like, okay, like, all right, sure, like I don't care, whatever you guys think is best. And that's always the best position to be in, because as you saw, WandaVision only took years of my life away because of expectations. So it's like the less expectations you have, the more enjoyable it'll be, because they can't disappoint. So that's why I always say, I know nothing about the Eternals. I know very little, actually. I don't want to know anything else. I want to go into that knowing the very little that I do. So if they do things or don't do things, doesn't matter to me, because I don't know what those things are.
Shit out of it for you.
Wait, say it again, AJ.
I'm gonna spoil the shit out of Eternals for you.
Well, you can spoil it. It still wouldn't excite me or disappoint me, because I still would have no expectations. But it does look like it is possible Eternals could lead to a story of Namor. The Pompeii-looking area in the trailer where the volcano erupts. There are, conversations that land could be the land that sinks to the bottom of the ocean because of the events of the Eternals, and that's what becomes Atlantis. And the dagger you see someone handing off is the tip of Namor's trident. So you could have some building blocks to Namor's story from the Eternals, which would be interesting. He is a mutant. We do believe Eternals will create mutants. So there is some connective dots there. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Trevon, your thoughts on this Namor casting?
I mean, I just wondered something was gonna happen with an in game. They said it was an earthquake or something that happened under the ocean. I was like, oh, well, okay. I guess something was happen with that. And I felt like they wouldn't put that in there for no reason. Like, why even mention it at all? Like, you didn't have to say anything about that. She could just be like, it's weird here. Half people going, that's all she had to say. She had to say about that. So I was like, okay. So they're gonna do something with that, I feel. And this casting, I mean, I don't know much about him either. I'm just excited to see it. It'd be cool. It's automatically gonna get compared to Aquaman, so it's gonna be that's gonna be interesting to see how that debate goes.
I've heard that a lot, and I do want to remind people there are major differences between Namor and Aquaman.
Yeah,
it's not like Deadpool and Deathstroke, who are literally probably the exact same person. Just one's more comical, one's more serious. But when you kind of dig through their layers, they're really the exact same person. It's why whenever you get the battles of those two, it's always Deadpool versus Deathstroke, because they're so alike. But when you really dig into Namor and Aquaman, not really the same thing. Like, they have tridents. Yes, they both live underwater. That's really it. Everything.
I'm saying, I mean, I get that, but it's like, for people that don't know, they're going to see him and be like, so.
But also, where I think Marvel has an advantage is it won't be an origin story, because they don't have the rights to Namor, and you're possibly introducing him as your villain. So there's a little bit of leeway there. But I would stress to people who do believe they are the exact same person to just read one Aquaman comic and then one Namor comic, and then you'll see they're not the same exact person. They just have similarities, like the most obvious. Both underwater tridents, they're kings. That's it. But no one ever compares Quicksilver and Flash, and literally they do the exact same thing. But when you dig deeper, neither one of them are the same. Barry is the light of the DC world.
I think it's because we know. I think because Flash is so fleshed out, we know about the Speed Force, so it kind of helps.
It does. Yeah, we've seen the Flash over a long period of time, but yeah, it can be boggled down to something as simple as they both run fast. Like, no, like, come on, guys. But all right, let's do a few more topics and then get up out of here. All right, so thank you, Shekinah. I'm glad you also put this in here. Supergirl film is in the works. At this point, if you're Henry, you have to start taking this personal. They are making a super dog movie, a Supergirl movie.
Crypto.
Like, I feel like we're gonna at some point here, Krypton will be making a comeback on HBO Max. They literally will do everything that involves Krypton and super people, except for Henry. Like, they will circle around that block and just ignore Henry. I like Sasha. I did watch The Young and the Restless with my aunt, and I very much have a crush on Sasha. So that's the only reason I'm excited for a Supergirl movie. Outside of that, I don't like you introducing a Supergirl movie if you're not telling me she's connected to Henry Superman. I don't need to see him in it. I just need to know that she is indeed his cousin, not an alternate, of a one-off or whoever this J.J. Abrams Superman is going to be. If she's connected to Henry, that's all I need, and I can properly enjoy it. Because honestly, when you look at Supergirl, it's like, well, who are your villains going to be? Because you've only introduced three of them, I'm sorry, in Henry's world. Zod, Lex, and Doomsday. So it's like
Brainiac.
Wait, say it again.
You can do Brainiac.
They're gonna do it.
He looks so disgusted.
They're gonna do it.
Because if you waste Brainiac on, first of all, if you tell me Supergirl was strong enough to destroy Brainiac on her lonesome, I will rage. Superman's not even strong to defeat Brainiac on his own. He always needs help to defeat Brainiac. So don't tell me Supergirl can do it on her own. Don't do that.
It's DC. It's Warner.
And also, a lot of people disagree with me. I don't care. I don't want Brainiac to be just a Superman villain. That's a Justice League level villain. I like the way they handled him in Justice League Unlimited. Use him like that in the DCEU to where he is a main, where he is a main big bad. Don't just use him as a one-off. That's
That's what they might do.
He always come back.
Right? No, don't do that. Also, don't defeat a villain and then bring him back. Like that, you get 3 movies in a solo. I don't need to see the same villain twice. Shekinah, I'm gonna go to you. Supergirl movie.
You sound so sad.
Because I knew someone was gonna say that, and I prepared my body to.
Who else would we say? I mean,
find somebody else. Supergirl has a whole show that uses different villains. Find somebody else.
She's used Brainiac.
Wait, she's fought Brainiac in that show?
Brainiac is on that show. Yeah.
No, Brainiac is a good guy on that show, though.
He's turned though, and so Brainiac's on that show.
Go ahead, Shekinah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, like you said, I don't like the idea that she's just there and we don't know who Superman she's connected to. Like, I don't want her to just I have no words. I thought I could I wrote some notes, but the notes aren't even connected to what is it just no. Like, if I get in a solo movie before Henry gets his next movie, it just feels rude. And I don't know. I feel like I think maybe I'm just being a bit silly, but I feel like because I watched Supergirl for quite a while, I feel like maybe I'm just being like fatigued for that character. So I'm kind of like, I don't really want. I mean, obviously I do want it. It's nice. She's a pretty girl. Nice move. Obviously, first Latina Supergirl, so it's obviously a very progressive thing. But I'm just not sure. Like, how do you tie into everyone else? I need to know where you stand, because otherwise, I'm struggling to be interested.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you're building a world of sidekicks where you've barely built the main counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ben has never even had his own Batman movie, and you're talking about a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Superman has had one movie, and you're talking about a Supergirl movie.
Yeah.
Like, can we develop them and then you bring in? Because that's what people forget. The sidekicks are the next legs of the stories. It's when you've gotten all three Batman movies, and now it's like we want to continue his story, but we don't necessarily need him to continue it. But when you've never fleshed him out, it's like, well, where did Batgirl come from? Like, we only just saw Jim Gordon. Yeah. We don't even know how old Barbara Gordon is in the timeline of Justice League. Is there even a Barbara Gordon? You know, so it's the idea of like, where are you placing these? Jaime, I'll go to you. What are your thoughts on the Supergirl movie being in the works?
You know, I don't really have like an affinity for the current Supergirl. I actually, if I've seen the show, I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes. I recognize the actress from like Glee, like the very ending of Glee, which was like, so to see her and Supergirl, like, you know, like good for you, but at the same time, I was still kind of mad about Glee, so I'm like, you know what, good for you, but I'm not gonna watch Supergirl. So the fact that she's getting a movie, I'm like, I don't really know if I'd be invested to see it, especially now because you guys are saying that there hasn't really been like super strong connections with Superman or like establishing like where she's at with that kind of with that relationship. So like y'all go ahead and make the movie, I guess, but not getting a ticket from me.
Yeah, and I mean, Zach hinted that there was another pod that had landed on Earth. Obviously we never got to see him bring that into fruition, which was also a little frustrating. Is that he got a chance to do his Ultimate Justice League movie, and you acknowledge that a pod existed, but we never got to see Supergirl. Like, how dope of an end credit would that have been? She's not part of the fight, but you see her land and interact with Clark, and then Clark, you know, is bringing her in to meet his mom and everything, meet Lois. That would have been dope. That would have been like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, that's a building block. Warner Brothers can build off of that. But the fact that we have no idea who this Supergirl, you know, is the cousin of. We know you know, she's obviously Clark's cousin, but is it Henry's Clark? Is it whoever this new Superman is? It's just the idea of Supergirl is a very interesting character, but only because we know so much about Superman. So we get to see how much she differs from Superman.
Right.
But the fact that we have no clear idea on who the Superman is, it's like, well, what is she differing from? And already we're seeing Andy Muschietti deciding in a Flashpoint story not to have Superman, but to instead have Supergirl. I wonder if that's because Warner Brothers was not interested in doing anything with Henry Superman at the time. So Andy decided to go out and do Supergirl. You know, it was a very interesting storyline of Superman and Flashpoint, where the government found him right when he landed, deprived him of sunlight, so he's this withered body. You know, that was very interesting to see in the comic books, a Superman deprived of sunlight. So I'm like, now you're doing Supergirl. Are you going to go that route? Like, what is her purpose of being in it? Again, we have to see when the movie comes out, but that is a looming question of why you needed a super person at all, let alone Supergirl. But AJ, what are your thoughts on this movie being made? I know you be simping over there for Sasha. I know you was liking Sasha. But your thoughts on the Supergirl movie being in the works?
Yeah, I am super excited for Sasha for being Supergirl. But the movie, I'm with you guys. I wish it could connect to Superman and a high caliber type of thing, but it's not at this point that we know of. Hopefully they'll change the way they're going with their plan, but right now it's a Supergirl movie without Superman, without the lore. So it is what it is at this point. But like I said, I have high hopes for Sasha for being a good Supergirl. There we go.
Yeah, I like my issues with Supergirl does not come from the casting. I think she'll be great. You know, and I hope if this movie does indeed get made, I hope, you know, she has this chance to showcase her acting talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you watch soap operas, it's like you can't really gauge the talent really from that. I enjoy her on Young and the Restless. She's really the only reason I think I watch it is to see Sasha. So hopefully this is something that gets her more roles, you know, and kind of, you know, advances her as an actor. But Trevon, to end this out, what are your thoughts on this movie?
I don't understand why. I don't understand that there's the Batgirl, the Nightwing. I don't get the thought process of even doing these films. It just doesn't make sense. Her being in the Flash movie, I'm more wondering how much she'll be in the Flash movie. She's just like,
well, if they're utilizing her the way that they utilize Superman in the comics for Flashpoint, it's really like a middle of the movie, end of the movie kind of deal. It's not really like this long kind of like, you know, it's not like she's on the journey with him or Superman was on the journey with him. It was when he got to this alternate reality, he said, shit, let's go get Superman to help us, you know, help us fight this war. And that was when they found him withered down, and Cyborg was explaining how he wasn't, you know, he's not the same Superman, you know. So it's, you know, very little to answer your question. Sorry, very little was Superman really utilized in Flashpoint.
I just wonder if they're gonna just use it to be like at like Henry, like erase Henry, and this is our super person that we have now in this. I still don't understand the Flash movie in general anyway, because you have the Flash from Zack's movies, but it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. I really can't wait to see how this comes out. Like honestly, I'm gonna see it. I'm excited to see what they do, because they really have to explain to me how this is gonna work. So I don't.
Wait, how does what work?
How doing the Flash movie with Zack's Flash, but you want to reboot? I don't know. It's just interesting. You still got Aquaman going on. You still got Wonder Woman going on. So how do you do this and still make those movies? It just doesn't.
I just want to clarify this. They're not rebooting. They're retooling. So pretty much what they're doing is they're explaining how there'll be a new Batman, whoever that Batman turns out to be, whether it's Keaton's or they're bringing in
that too. Ben is in there and Keaton.
Right, but Ben's is more so a contractual obligation. He has to fulfill one more movie as Batman, so they just chose for it to be this. Which again, you know, modern day Bruce Wayne is in Flashpoint, and then in the alternate world, his dad is Batman. But in this, they're saying in the alternate world, Keaton's Batman is Bruce Wayne Batman, not his dad, is just another Bruce Wayne. So it's not a reboot. I just want to make that very clear. They're not rebooting, because if that was the case, we wouldn't hear about Aquaman 2 or Wonder Woman 3. It's just a reworking. They're trying to do it so the first Suicide Squad movie isn't really existing. It's from this new one on, and however they're gonna work in a new Batman. And if they do want to rotate Henry out and rotate Supergirl in, Flashpoint is how they'll do it.
Let's just hope they do it well and it makes sense. And
well, I've yet to hear that there's a reverse Flash in this movie. So already you've gotten off to a bad start on in my opinion. The hell, you have a Flashpoint without the reverse Flash? I don't understand.
What is the point of him going back? Yeah.
Yeah, he only went back to go save his mom, but he only saved his mom because Reverse Flash killed his mom. Yeah. So if there's no Reverse Flash, who the hell framed his dad?
Yeah.
Supergirl.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
That's good storytelling.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so once I found that out, Trevon, once they said filming had started, I'm like, wait a minute. The casting's incomplete. I haven't heard anything about Reverse Flash. It started to dawn on me, they probably won't do Reverse Flash. So now I'm like, well, what's
the story? What is the story? What is the story? Oh.
I don't know. So for anyone out there who doesn't understand our frustration in this, in the comics, and if anyone watches the show Flash,
right.
Reverse Flash, to kind of try to eliminate Barry from the timeline, kills his mom and frames his dad, and his dad goes to prison. So Barry one day decides he really misses his mom, so wants to go back in time and save her from being murdered. And when he does, it creates an alternate timeline where Bruce's dad is Batman and Bruce died. Bruce's mom becomes the new Joker. Barry, for some strange reason, is now gay. Cyborg works for the president. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war with each other. Which, by the way, just really quickly, and we're going to do 2 more topics and end the show. It was really cold-hearted that Arthur slept with Diana and then had the nerve to be mad at Diana when she killed Mira because Mira was trying to kill her. And then Aquaman had the nerve to go, how dare you kill her? I loved her. And it's like, but you cheated on her. Like, how much love was there? It's like a little bit was there, some, not enough for me to be okay with you killing her. So that was an interesting storyline to see get turned out. But yeah, so to have no Reverse Flash is
they're replacing them with Saboteur.
Hey.
Don't joke like that. Don't even joke. That's not even.
Why would you say that?
Goodness.
This first trailer gonna be amazing. Okay.
Wow, I saw that Saboteur in the first trailer. They were like,
wait. Let me say this though. As much as we're joking, seeing Keaton as Batman again, regardless of how we feel about this movie, will give it legs of its own. Him reprising his role as Batman and then seeing Ben as Batman again. That's not old footage or whatever that's being put into a new premise of a movie. All that will be beautiful. It's just, to me, who knows the story of Flashpoint, you got to sell me on Flashpoint. You can't just give me the bells and whistles of, ooh, look, Juwaan, here's 2 Batmen. No, the story has to be good. So the trailer will smack because Batman's in it. So that's undeniable, but you got to sell me on the story, and that's
maybe they'll surprise you with Reverse Flash. Maybe they'll.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe they'll surprise you with them.
100%, no argument here. Very likely could.
They're going to use Black Flash.
They also, Trevon, knowing them, could just not use them. So
the story.
Unfortunately, it's the 50-50 of it that scares me. But all right, our last 2 topics. Jaime, I'm going to start with you. I really wanted to talk about this topic and wanted to make sure we did not end without talking about it because I think it's important. The upcoming Velma HBO Max series from Mindy Kaling will see the character being of East Asian descent. The series will also cover a timeline where Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine do not exist. Jinkies? Maybe Jinkies because...
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Yeah,
Ruh-roh.
They gotta really ease up on giving us stories about characters that really only make sense being part of a group. Like, now to be fair, and here's where I'll be biased: a Scooby and Shaggy series about them 2 that doesn't involve everybody else makes sense, because it's just like seeing how those 2 idiots exist in a world where they don't have people that can kind of like steer them in the right direction. That's hilarious. Velma to me has never really been that popular of a character for me to be, yeah, I would love to see how she solves things on her own.
Unfortunately.
Go ahead, Trevon.
They really said that Scooby-Doo, like, none of them exist. Like,
she said, no dog, no van. No dog, no van.
No dog, no van. Which is crazy because I don't even remember what the hell Velma did before she joined Scooby.
I remember a pup named Scooby-Doo. This is where it started for me when he was a puppy. This is where it started. and they were friends then.
Right.
Like, I can't get down with this.
Yeah, that
like that just don't make any sense.
Wait, hold on, Trevon. I'll go to you next. Jaime, go ahead, give your thoughts.
That I didn't know all this. I am like, it would have to be a miracle for them to like pull this off and to actually be good, in my opinion. Scooby-Doo is one of those shows that's like near and dear to my heart. I remember watching it over and over on my CRT on tape. So
yep.
To just completely remove Scooby, Shaggy, like if they removed everybody except Scooby and Shaggy, I'm like, maybe this could work out. I would be optimistic about it, but just have the show is Scooby-Doo for a reason. Like, Velma, as much as I enjoy her character, like she was a side character and she was never developed that way. So to have her just like out on her own, I don't know, like why even call her Velma at that point? She could have been anybody else.
Right. Go ahead, Trevon.
I'm reading that it will feature Daphne, Freddy, Velma, and Shaggy, but just not Scooby. That's what I'm reading right here.
Where are you reading it from?
On the Vulture. On the Vulture website.
Vulture?
Yeah. But it just, I don't understand. No dog. She said no dog, no van. But it will have our 4 characters.
What makes even less sense of that is I think Shaggy has only been around with Scooby. He met everybody else later, but he's always been with Scooby. So it's just like, look, I'll say it like this. She's obviously trying to sell us on Velma. So it makes it very difficult to sell us on Velma if Scooby's there. I get it. I do. Because then it essentially just becomes Scooby-Doo. So I get that. It's the same reason why you don't have Batman and Batwoman. Because then it becomes the Batman. So I do understand it. My only issue is no one cares about Velma enough to want to see her own show. It's the idea of like, why not just have the show of the entire gang? Like, I don't understand. Just have the whole gang and call it Scooby-Doo.
I feel like
animated. It's animated,
no, it's
right?
live action. I
think it's live action.
Live action.
So yeah, I know that makes But my thing is like to what Juwaan was saying. If she wanted to make Velma a more central character, she could have just brought everybody back, but took creative liberties with the story and put Velma as the center. Like, I'm the detective, and you guys are here to like help me collect clues and stuff. Because even in the original show, she was the one solving the mystery most of the time. Sure. Exactly. So just give her a spotlight, and that's all you have to do.
And can we be honest here? There are 4 characters that are very much fleshed out. It's Fred, it's Velma, it's Scooby, and it's Shaggy. Daphne is the only one that's never really been fleshed out. She very much was just like the damsel in distress every single time. She's somebody you need to give legs to.
Well, I would say in the newer, I would say in the newer animated Scooby-Doo, not the original one, but the one that came out a little bit earlier.
Mystery Incorporated?
Or are you talking the Scooby movie?
No, it's a animated series that was on Cartoon Network after the Scooby-Doo. I think it was Mystery Incorporated.
Yeah.
Velma does get a little bit more of a development than
No. I'm saying Velma has always had the. Oh, you're talking that? Okay, yeah. I'm saying Daphne's the one that didn't have any development. But I mean, look. Mindy is amazing. Mindy has, as Shekinah can attest, Mindy has actually written and directed a lot of episodes of The Office, like a lot of them. She is very, very, very good when it comes to comedy. So I'm sure she can make it entertaining. It's just, will you make it so I care enough to watch a series or a full movie of it? It's up to her. But, I'll say this. Olivia did an amazing job with Booksmart. That movie was hilarious. So you can find ways to make things interesting that maybe usually wouldn't be interesting. So who knows? I tell you this though, give her an Oscar if she can sway us on this Velma. With the idea of there being no Scooby and no Van. If she can sell us on that, give her everything. Let her do whatever she wants to do. But That's up to her to sell us on that.
It is animated, by the way.
It is
Oh, it
animated.
is.
Yeah, I just read that's animated. Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, that makes me feel.
It doesn't make me feel any better. It's still the same outrage for me. Same outrage for me. Sorry.
It makes me feel a little bit better only for this, Shekinah. I do believe that if Mindy's doing it, it's probably catered to children. So now it takes all of the expectations out of it for me. I thought it was live action and she was trying to make.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more serious kind of thing if it was live action.
Yeah, so this essentially sounds like it'll be like what Teen Titans Go is, to where it's clearly nothing like.
Oh God.
No, but this is the thing. Teen Titans Go is actually a good show, right? There hasn't been anything. Don't disagree with me. It's a great show. Okay, don't disagree with me. It's a great show.
If you give it a chance, you actually will like it. I was the same. So
it's actually a really good show.
I've watched Teen Titans Go. It's not a bad show. It's just definitely not for me.
Okay, but wait. That's not the point. The point is that was a good show, right? After What's New Scooby-Doo, right? Every other Scooby-Doo cartoon after that has just declined severely. Like I can't see what you could possibly do to bring it. Like I'm not interested anymore. Like.
By the way, now that you brought that up, What's New Scooby-Doo probably had one of the greatest theme songs of all time.
Banging theme song. Banging theme song.
Sometimes I just look it up just to hear the theme song. I'm like, all right,
exactly.
I would say this: there are two theme songs to me that stand the test of time, no matter what people think of the show. It's What's New Scooby-Doo and it's Doug. Those two theme songs just smack. They smack. They do.
Sing Doug for me.
It's just do 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 do. Like when you
just don't
hear it.
Doug.
Here's the funny thing: Doug is one of the worst shows ever. It's boring, right? In Doug's imagination, he's a superhero with no superpowers. That's literally the most stupidest aspect you could ever think of, right? But the theme song lures you in to where you're like, oh, it's gonna be fire, and then the episode starts, and you're like, damn, I forgot why I hated this show. I remember now.
I'd rather go like Pokemon, the first Pokemon Adventures than either.
Well, I was leaving out the more obvious ones. Okay. Like, yeah, Pokemon's like that's all time great. But stuff like Rocket Power.
Rocket Power is fire. Yes, I love
Rocket Power slaps. And you know what? We got to give Rocket Power a lot more respect.
It's so good.
The fact that his dad and his uncle smoked weed literally every day. Around the kids was one of the dopest things ever. His dad literally was enabled to be upset because he was so high out of his mind all the time. Like Otto used to do all the crazy stuff, and his dad used to be just like, "It's okay, Otto. Like it's cool. You know, who cares? You know what I'm saying?" But no, to bring it back around, I get what you're saying, Shekinah. It's just like if you make it catered to children, my expectations can only be but so high. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not meant for us. But like I said, I thought it was going to be edgier, and if it was edgier, then I can start slapping some expectations. But if it's meant for children, it's meant for children. It's just like when parents go, they didn't have their kids watching Young Justice. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have. It's not meant for your children. It's meant for us. It's meant for adults. Just like regular show. That was never meant for children. The first episode I saw of regular show, I was just like, oh no. My little brother can't watch this. No. But yeah, so now that I know that it's animated, thank you, Trevon. Yeah. Whatever Mindy decides to do with it.
I had to look that up. I had to find out.
AJ, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Don't care. Not gonna watch it. I'll just watch the original. It has no effect on me whatsoever.
Fair
enough.
And I respect that because I don't like when people go, "Oh, well, you're ruining our childhood." It's like, well, you do know What's New Scooby-Doo doesn't just disappear now, right? Like it doesn't disappear from your memory. You can just go back and watch that. But I respect that. I do. And it's up to Mindy to, persuade you otherwise, AJ. Yeah, cool. So, we'll see if the show's able to do it. I am not saying the show will be bad. I am just saying you got to sell me on it. You really do. Shekinah, I feel like we know where you stand, but your thoughts on this?
You asked me already, no?
Did I?
Yeah. Did I not just talk about it?
I don't remember.
I
don't remember. Okay. All right, because you've definitely made it clear. That is for sure.
I don't think he actually asked you, but you were just like, no, this is terrible.
No, he did ask me. I was the first one.
I thought Jamie was the first one. I gave it to Jamie.
No, yeah, I was the first one.
Yeah, I gave it to Jamie.
You said your opinion that the whole you said it. You were like,
you know what it is? No, you know what it is. Time out. Let's be fair to Shekinah. Shekinah did go back in time and create an alternate timeline where I started with her, and then I went to Jamie. So we're living out the Shekinah flashpoint. We're living out the Shekinah flashpoint.
No, because I said after watching Scooby-Doo, I was not interested in the show anymore. Did I not say that?
You did say that.
You said that, but I don't think I ever passed it to you. I think you were just so upset.
We were just all talking.
You went into a rage of why you're not interested in it. But look, to be fair,
I must be tired. I don't remember.
I don't remember anything, so I very likely could have, but I know I started with Jamie. I know that, because then Trevon jumped in, and I said I'd pass it to him next. And then I think in between that, you were just like, no. You
did do that. Yeah, you did do that. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm gonna have a fun time editing tomorrow where I try to find if I did pass it to you or not, and then just loop that at the beginning of the episode.
Oh God.
But Trevon, you've also made your thoughts known. But did you want to add anything else?
No, without Scooby, she got something to sell. She really got to sell me, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. I had problems with the Scoob movie that they did, where they did like the origin of Shaggy and Scooby meeting each other. Basically, that was
I fell asleep watching that.
I won't revisit. Let's just say that I won't revisit.
Like, I never tried it. I never tried.
I tried.
I enjoyed
Scooby.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you enjoyed it, AJ?
Yeah, I actually did enjoy it.
Okay. Maybe I'll put that.
I might go back and watch it, but I don't know.
Would I go back and watch it? No, but
I fell asleep. I think I literally fell asleep at the beginning, so I didn't see it really.
Something with me, when I know that it's catered to children, I always process it in my mind. It's not made for me, so it's a really good chance I won't like it. So I just stay away from it. But I've never really talked to anyone who said they liked it or disliked it. So now that you said you enjoyed it, I'll put it on my list and I'll check it out. When I get some free time, just start it up. And if I fall asleep like Jamie did, then I know it's not for me. But if I'm able to sit through it, by all means, I hope I do enjoy it. But the biggest thing we do have to keep in mind is she sold Warner Brothers on this. So there's something good about this.
Is that hard? Is that hard?
Time out. Hold on. I know how we view Warner Brothers, but think about this. If you're Warner Brothers, to tell them you're creating a story with everybody, but the one person or the one character that makes you all your money, it had to be a good sell. To sell them that there's no Mystery Machine, there's no Scooby-Doo, it had to be a good sell. So I'm curious on what it was. Had to be good. And you sold them on changing her race. It had to be a good sell.
Well, no, you didn't have to push that hard. You know how WB are right now. You didn't have to push them that hard. You didn't have to push that hard. You didn't have to push them that hard. You didn't.
Look, we have diversity.
Exactly. You didn't have to push that hard.
Yeah, right now Warner Brothers is definitely that guy that's like, no, I got a black friend. Like, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm only laughing because I'm thinking about what they have slated, and I'm like,
this is why.
Yep. All right, our last topic of the night. The official name for Aquaman 2 has been released. The film will be titled Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom.
What kingdom?
You said what kingdom?
What's the lost one? I mean, we already found him, so we already know where he is. He's in Atlanta, not lost.
I don't think it's lost. I think it would be another kingdom that's probably lost.
What? Okay.
But Lost Kingdom could mean multiple things. It could be he loses the throne. He literally loses the kingdom of Atlantis. So it could have numerous meanings. I am just curious on who the big bad will be. You literally in the first one gave us 2 of his 2 most iconic big bads. I don't want to see Orm as the main bad or Black Manta as the main bad. You gotta spice it up some.
You're getting Black Manta.
What? Yeah, I'm like
they can.
Black Manta's coming back.
They can be in the movie. Clearly, they have to be the way it ended. I just don't need them as the main bads again. That's all I'm saying. And James Wan, you will very much disappoint me if you don't put the successor of Aquaman in this next movie. Put him in there. Put him in there.
Aqualad?
Put him in there. Yes, put Aqualad in there.
They're not doing that. They're not gonna do that.
Why not?
They're not gonna do it. Well, maybe they will do it because he can be black, right? Then, man, you know what? Take it back. They'll do it.
Oh my gosh.
They'll do it.
I want you to put Aqualad in there because at some point you should have the sidekick of Aquaman. Yeah. And it shouldn't be in your last movie. Have it in the second one, even if he's just a character and he doesn't become Aqualad till the third movie. I'm fine with that. But you've already given me a Batman where the Robin was dead. So I would like for one of your movies to incorporate a sidekick at some point. It doesn't look like Wonder Woman will ever have Wonder Girl. So, you know, thank goodness for Titan. I'll just have to enjoy that there.
Well, she died? So, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
She died?
The game, right? Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Where did she die?
Let's keep going.
Titans.
Oh, you're talking Titans. Oh, no. I'm talking about in the Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would like to see her in a Wonder Woman movie. And don't be too sure about that death. She is part of Amazon.
I know. I saw her back. I don't understand.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I want to see Aqualad. That's really the only thing I'm looking forward to. The only thing I have expectations for is to see Aqualad. Especially knowing what Young Justice did with his loyalties being tested between his father being Black Manta and, you know, his mentor being obviously Arthur. So I want to see that divide, man. I really do. But clearly we know Black Manta doesn't have a son in this continuity as far as we know. So they probably won't go that route. But I would very much take a Aquaman has been his mentor and Black Manta has corrupted him. I'll take that. But yeah, give me Aqualad. But AJ, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this official title for Aquaman 2?
I think it's a badass title. I like it. On to Aqualad. Should we really get it? I guess, yeah. No, never mind then. Yeah, we should get Aqualad.
No, look, that's just my opinion.
I agree with that. Because
to have all these Justice League members and none of them have sidekicks, literally none of them, that's a little crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I think it'll make a lot more sense if Aquaman did have a sidekick and he was in this movie, since we are starting to go younger with the superhero casting within DC, from either Supergirl, Static Shock is probably not going to be on Warner Brothers, but I don't know. But it seems like they're going the younger route, so it makes sense for them to do Aqualad for the second movie.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, they really missed an opportunity, man, because you wouldn't even need a Titan show if you just did things logically. Like if Robin existed in Ben's world, if Supergirl was seen or mentioned in Man of Steel or a Justice League, if Wonder Girl was mentioned, you know, you could really build up this second tier of heroes, kind of like what Marvel's now doing, where, you know, we know we're getting the second generation of these Avengers characters. You really miss a golden opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, that would have been huge for your fan base to see Titans live out on the big screen, to where you see them interact with their big movie star counterparts, and they get to shine on their own. You even could have just spun it off and made it an HBO Max series with a pretty big budget and made that a series. So I would like to see a sidekick somewhere, just somewhere.
But in their own solo movies.
Oh wait, say it again, Trevon.
You are getting them in their own solo movies.
Yeah, but you're not sidekicks because there's no counterpart. So you're legit the hero. You're not really like Batgirl with no Batman, who you're a sidekick to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Shekinah, what are your thoughts on this? Your thoughts on this title?
I think it's a good title. I'm excited for the next movie. I don't know. I liked Aquaman 1, but the acting in some of the scenes are a bit. Did anyone else feel that? The acting was a bit.
I feel like they didn't give him a chance.
Every
time they try to talk, it was always somebody's like, boom, explosion. I'm like, damn, can somebody can we have a real conversation?
I actually hear that Shekinah a lot. Because Aquaman, when it came out, was thrusted as my favorite DC movie. Because what you're able to do with the visuals, I didn't think James was gonna go the color scheme of the green and orange, because it is cartoony, so I never thought we would see it, but when you see it on Jason Momoa,
it looks good.
That's a man right there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, the visual of him under the waterfall with the trident, with the suit, seeing it in action versus Orm in his suit. So to me, the visuals is what carried it, but the acting didn't really bother me, because to me it's like, for whatever lack of acting Aquaman had, you're not going to tell me Wonder Woman had all the acting in the world.
I won't disagree with you. I won't even disagree.
But no one ever talked about it. So I'm just like, well, if we can ignore it there, we can ignore it for Aquaman. One of them were bad movies.
Was a little bit cringy. And I thought
I don't disagree on that. I think it was cringy. I think that suit was the worst possible design you could give for Black Manta. It was bulky as all hell. His head looked 8 times bigger than it actually should have been.
He explained that in the movie, though.
I mean, I really do think, and I didn't like that he was a fish out of water. He wasn't he wasn't an Atlantean. He was literally a human.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the aspect of that either. So it was just the idea of James did a lot of, tinkering with it. But if you tell me you left that movie and the only thing that bothered you was Black Manta's acting,
I loved Aquaman.
No, I'm saying
it's a good movie, regardless.
I'll take that as a win if that was the only thing that someone disliked from that movie was just Black Manta. Okay, I'll take it. As long as you can realize everything else was glorious. Patrick as Orm was beautiful. Nicole Kidman as the mom was beautiful.
The action was amazing.
Was amazing. Us seeing him ride on a Kraken was beautiful.
Yep.
So they really
Octopus playing on the drums. Yep.
And you know what's crazy, AJ? I remember when they were first starting to film that movie, when everyone kept saying, James Gunn was saying it's like Game of Thrones meets Aquaman. I kept saying to myself, how do you what does that mean? And then when you get to that final battle, you're just like, yeah. Yes, it is. I get it. But yeah, so I could understand the Black Manta issues. I can get it. Jamie, what are your thoughts on this name for Aquaman 2?
No qualms here. I'm just curious as to how it's gonna play out, whether it's gonna be he loses the throne or somehow some attack on Atlantis, or I don't know. I'm curious to see how it's gonna play out. So I think they did a good job, at least had me curious as to what's gonna happen. I had a lot of fun with the first Aquaman. It's by far, I think, probably my favorite DC movie out of this new bunch. So yeah, I'm excited.
It's crazy that you say that, Jamie, because every time that I say Aquaman's my number one, like TNT will have Man of Steel on, and I'm just like, oh, damn, that's right. That's right, Man of Steel is number one. And then I'll watch Aquaman again, and I'm like, the visuals, it's such a toss up between the two of them. Like, I give it to Man of Steel, only because that Pa Kent moment will forever be special to me. In the meaning of it, and how no one seems to really understand the importance of that for Clark. But when Nicole Kidman showed back up, and I was just like, oh, you alive? I was just like, okay, all right, I like it. And Arthur kind of just having this resentment against a mom he thought never wanted him. I love, and let me just say that was the Shakespearean thing of what James Wan did with Aquaman. You had the son who felt as though he had the mother that never loved him. And you had the other son that had a mother that felt as though never accepted him. So you had these two brothers who always thought the other side had it better. Meanwhile, they're just like, Mom didn't love me. Oh, you think she didn't love you? Like, she went to go be a mom to you. She left me down here. Like, what are we talking about right now? So I very much appreciated the Shakespearean aspect that James went with the two brothers. So it has its reasons to why I have it as like my 1B. But yeah, that Paul Kent moment of holding the hand out to where he's willing to die to allow his son to dictate the life he wants to live. That's special, Zach. That's real special, Zach. Ooh, it gives me chills just talking about it. Anyway, Trevon, to end this out, man, how do you liking this name for Aquaman 2?
I mean, like you talking about the visuals of the first one. I mean, that movie was just stunning. Like, the way it looked, it's just amazing. I like the action, I like the acting, like the suits, everything. I'm just excited to see what he does with the second one. The title is like insignificant to me or whatever. They could have called Aquaman 2 and I'm still there. So it doesn't really matter to me. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't give me, I don't know, him just getting the throne and then losing it. I'm just like, he just got it. Like, or we're gonna do like a time jump or something, maybe, or maybe they've been king for a while.
We also don't know. I was just speculating that Lost Kingdom could mean.
I know I'm saying, but yeah,
naturally, we don't know that it is a loss of his throne. I will say one thing I do want to see, because if anyone could pull it off, is Jason Momoa.
That's that.
I want to see him lose his hand. I want to see the hook hand. I want to see it. I want to see the hook hand. I know a lot of people are against it, but I want to see the hook hand. Justice League Unlimited made it look really cool, and I want it. I want it, man. I want like a shark monster or something to bite the hand off. And then in the third movie, we essentially what Anakin went through at the end of Attack of the Clones. I want that. Because you're not gonna tell me robot hand Anakin wasn't the superior Anakin. Like that was dope Anakin. So I'm like, I want the hook hand, man. But yeah, I'm really shocked that we don't know more about this movie. Clearly they're heading into filming. And we know literally nothing about it.
Maybe because he was more focused on trenches or whatever he was doing, and then that got kind of thrown away. Mean? That movie he was making about the trench.
No, but what do you mean in context to this?
I'm just saying maybe that's why we don't know as much, because he was actually going to do that movie, and then.
Oh, I mean, possible, but I don't think he was going to direct that. I think he was probably going to be like a producer who oversaw it. But remember, he had ideas for Aquaman 2 back when he was doing back after he finished Aquaman 1. So he always knew what he wanted to do with it. I'm just shocked that we don't have any reports on what this is going to be, but we'll know when Fandom comes out later this year. We'll know about Flash. We'll know about Aquaman. We'll know more about Black Adam.
Filming it already? Are they filming already? Or they get ready to start, I think?
I think they're getting ready to start. I don't think they've started yet. I think they're getting ready to start. Last question. Does anyone have any Mira objections here? We don't have to get into the politics of it, but you do have your Mira objections, Shekinah?
I do.
Think Amber Heard should be gone?
Kick her out.
Yes. I agree.
Kick her out. But we don't want to get into the politics, so
right.
My
stance is get her out and fast, but whatever.
I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I feel like if you get rid of one person, let's get rid of the other one.
I will say also, I think we do forget. I think we do forget the Johnny Depp thing was a mutual thing. He didn't want to bring any controversy to the new what's the name of the movie?
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts. Don't do
so
that.
It was agreed upon. And like I said, I'm not getting into the politics of everything, but I always say that when you get domestic stuff like that, there's always two sides. Always two sides. And the fact that we have not heard really any truth out of either of the two sides, I kind of do believe both of them should still have their jobs. But again, he agreed to step down. So it wasn't just like Warner Brothers came in and was just like, hey, it don't matter what you say, you're gone. Like, he didn't even fight it. He was just like, I get it.
He still got paid though.
Still got that money. Hell yeah, he still got paid. And look, it's a chance for me to see Mads Mikkelsen in the Harry Potter world. You know, hey, I'm not turning that down. However, I can get Mads up in there. But no, look, I respect it. I am not on the train of it though, because I never thought it was a possibility. I never thought Warner Brothers would approach her and tell her she's got to go. It's just it's not how it doesn't work that way. I never thought that would happen, but so wait, Shekinah, I do have to ask, are you gonna hate watch Mira in Aquaman 2? Or like will you still like go like, oh man, she's pretty good in this movie?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Sorry. I haven't decided yet.
I would have rather him just shapeshift back into Colin Farrell and just go with that instead of recast with Mads Mikkelsen. But
I definitely would not. I love Mads Mikkelsen. Any way to get Mads Mikkelsen into Harry Potter world, I am with.
He can stay in Doctor Strange.
He's the ultimate bad guy. And when you think about it, what Johnny Depp did with that role, Colin couldn't. He couldn't reach those kinds of levels. So you needed someone who's like an ultimate bad guy to take another step in it. And Mads Mikkelsen is the perfect guy. But that's all we got for you guys on an all-new episode of GVN Talk. I want to thank Trevon, AJ, Jaime, and Shekinah for joining me for this episode. This was a lot of fun. And, you know, we didn't scream at each other as much as we usually do. It was there. It was for sure there. But stay tuned, guys, for me to drop this episode. Please make sure you guys subscribe to Jamie's Twitch. Jaime, you want to drop the Twitch name?
Sure. Yeah, it's twitch.tv/swiper_prime.
Make sure you guys subscribe now. Jaime has videos up covering some of these video game, what do you call them? Conferences? They're not award shows. They're
yeah, like they're calling them like showcases and conferences and stuff. And I'll actually, as soon as we get off, I have one in the works, getting ready to go up. So
perfect. So make sure you guys go and check that out. I will put the link in our YouTube description so you guys can just click on it and go right there. Trevon, I told you are not stopping your reviews. So watch something and give me a review immediately. That is an order. So get it done. Shekinah is still killing it over on Instagram. So make sure you guys go like, comment, and follow over on Instagram, see what's going on over there. And me and AJ will be reviewing Bad Batch tomorrow. So make sure you guys
AJ does not look like he's agreed to that.
No, figure out what time, because I'm going to the movies tomorrow.
So then why would I figure out the time? You tell me the time, man. What is that? I swear, podcasting with AJ is like, where do you want to go to eat? Oh, let's do Red Lobster. I don't like Red Lobster. Then how about you tell me where
Red Lobster too?
Tell me where you want to eat, and then we can go there. But no, so stay tuned for that review. It was a huge episode of Bad Batch this week. There's so many layers that I had to break down, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And me and AJ couldn't get to the Star Wars news in this, so we'll just break it down in the Bad Batch episode. We'll break down because there's a lot of Star Wars news that dropped. So it'll be a lot to break down, and some Boba Fett stuff to talk. That's me and AJ's boy. We love us some Boba Fett. So that'll be really interesting to talk a little bit more about that. Because he is right. We saw baby Boba, kid Boba, and then old ass dad bod Boba. There's some space in there that we need to see played out. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And as always, the MCR is back. We just shot our newest episode, breaking down Loki. Great group of guys and gals. So make sure you guys check that out on our YouTube page, Geek Vibes Podcast. Stay tuned for the new episode this Wednesday, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll all be all greened up. I'm still trying to search for my Loki horns. They won't be here until probably the end of the month, unfortunately. I can't find them anywhere but on Amazon. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. Till then, peace.
Bye, everybody.